Hello, what's up, blood bags? It's me, Rosa. How's everybody being? Oh, I should let me adjust my camera. Ugh. I'm like, okay, there we go. Oh, it still looks like my head is turned. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so how's everybody been? Hope everybody's been good. It's been a minute since I've done some reactions. Well, not like a long minute, but still, gotta keep up. Um, so we're gonna do some reacts to some new music by the peeps in the Skybrowse community and Offdead server, and then we're gonna react to some like other stuff. I think I got like, it's not like super, well, maybe this one about the games is, it's a little bit of political stuff, a little bit of just general, like, you know, like stuff. But yeah, I put some new channel point redeems. Besides headpads, I also put, well, headpads was always there, but I put bonk. I added a kitty mode. Hopefully that works. It should, because I learned how to set it up. I did it all by myself without my sire. And I also adjusted, oh hi balcony seats. I also adjusted some of like the channel point values for some of the channel redeems, and then I got rid of some of the ones that nobody was really using. So yeah. Okay. So, well, you know what I do. I'm gonna go with the first one on the playlist, and I'm gonna go all the way down. So we're gonna start with Worlds We Crash with by Mad Hatter and Mad Hatter Creations. So let me click it. Also, let me know how the volume is, because I'm not sure. Wait, let me give this a like. Let me do that. I don't think I did that. I'm forgetful, guys. If I ever forget to like and subscribe, it's not because I'm being a jerk. It's because I'm forgetful. So, here we go. Worlds We Crash. Sorry. Worlds We Crash by Mad Hatter Creations.
Calling out my flame.
Ooh.
The machine begins to breathe. Power surges through my blood. This is my destiny. From the void I pull the storm. I command what others fear. Dragon circle through.
I like the visual where it's got the like the gear stuff, like the mechanical stuff with the natural stuff, like the crystals and stuff. Sounds for video and your voice sound fine. Oh, okay, thank you. I feel like I always have a little bit of scuff, so I'm kind of glad that hasn't happened yet. Ooh.
Lace and fire, gems explode, magic dancing in my hands, bunny ears and neon glow. We crash across the land, spinning jewels that paint the night. Laughter cuts across the void. Every twirl creates a star. Every step leaves worlds destroyed. Siren sings, phoenix rises, gentle flames light up the sea. Every breath a brand new world. Come build it here with me. Waves of color crash.
Ooh, she pretty. I like the in the previous part with the oh my god, the neon. I really like that, and then I really like how AI does like ethereal effects like that, like with neon, or right here in this one with like the gold and all that, and the aurora borealis in the back. Ooh.
Pages flipping, knowledge spins on a cloud. I rewrite fate. Every story that I birth becomes reality we make. Floating shells of ancient dreams. Tomes
Cool.
one by one. I speak the words that
She's like an angel?
galaxies are spun. I am the author of tomorrow. I control what's yet to be. Every word I speak becomes new reality. We don't just dream, we crash the sky.
Ooh, I like that with all the books and stuff because she's like learning the knowledge.
Skybrowse universe, watch it multiply. Beneath the waves of
Ooh, I love the crystal.
my name, every bubble writes a verse in this eternal game. Jellyfish pulse with crystal light, mermaids dance in sapphire blue. Ancient castles rise from sand, a kingdom born anew. Tropical currents pull me deep into this underwater dream. This is where the lost souls go to silently redeem. War machines, robots clash, Trividar firing through the ash. Guns blaze, titans crash and fall. This is how we conquer it.
Ooh.
Gears are turning, boots in dirt, cockpit glowing through the hurt. Every step shakes reality. This is power, this is me. VR trigger, Mac on Mac. System scream, we never wreck. Final blow, the giant drops. Skybrowse never fucking stops. And Mavs out here giggling, running wild inside the steel. Laughing through the static. This is how the real ones feel. We don't just dream, we crash the sky. Skybrowse
Ooh, some Ace Combat POV. Hello.
universe. This is our life. From the ashes we rise.
Ooh.
Belongs to us tonight. We are the storm, we are the flame.
That's a cool effect. I feel like AI also really excels at doing like machinery type stuff. So
Can I have some of your blood?
Monkey just became a blood bag.
oh, thanks for the follow. I believe on the Discord that we have a channel. I think yeah, it's a channel where you can put videos for us to react to.
We only endless fall. Feel the fire burning deeper, let it take me higher still. Every heartbeat is a war drum, every breath becomes a thrill. I am unstoppable, unbreakable, the king of all I see. Nothing in existence
Ooh.
ever stand against me.
Oh, that's cool.
Scream my name, let the heavens shake and break. I rewrite
Ooh, that's cool too.
every move I make. Power surging through my veins like never felt before. This is only just the beginning. I want so much more. We don't just dream, we crash the sky. Skybrowse universe, watch it multiply. We are the fury, we are the flame. We're taking everything tonight.
Oh, cool.
We don't just dream, we crash the sky. This is our world, this is our time, this is our fucking life.
Oh, dang. Ooh.
Let the king speak.
Some mecha battles.
Dreams, every move I make shake the ground. Hear the thunder in my screams. Dragons bow when I walk in. Skies crack when I talk shit. I don't taste the wave. I am the wave. Watch me body this bitch. Mech on my back. Roll
Oh, damn. That's a good lyric. I mean, the lyrics are good in general, but that one was good.
finger up. Screaming out my name. I don't just break the sky. I break the fucking heavens wide. Turn your whole universe to dust and then I multiply. This ain't a song. This a war cry. This a villain origin story. Every
Oh, cool.
another world.
Little cameos.
Diabolical flow. Hatter in the flesh. Watch the timeline bend.
I don't follow rules, I burn the book and write the shit again.
God damn, that's badass. Ooh. Oh, dang. Yeah. Oh my god.
Get in line, glow ups.
What the heck? I did not mean to click that. Back to duplicate. Oh, it just did it by itself. Never mind. Two. Okay. That was good. That was good. That's another banger by Mad Hatter. Okay. Sorry, just doing that. You know. Do okay. This one is Glow Up Ultra by Julie LaCroix. Or LaCroix. Yeah, it does. It do. It do. It's fun.
Get in line, glow ups.
Oh, okay.
This is not a spa day.
This is sweat school.
Say it with me.
Glow up, go, go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Shaky shit shoes, cheap kind short, slow, sloppy
You're
toes.
soft as fucking sofa stuck in wobbly slump.
Everybody chunky, but why? I'm not judging for everyone being chunky. I'm just confused. Let's see how the story goes.
You gonna grind that junk.
Jump, jump, jump.
Glow up, go, go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Clumsy crap, crunches, crooked, cropped, core, low and
From
flow.
flabby fuck flesh to flex and flashing lights.
You're
Oh.
ass clowns now.
But you'll get tight.
You slackers done?
No chance.
Drag that dead weight till it's gone.
Sweat.
Oh.
Sludge.
You lumpy legends, sidestep, stumble, slip,
Shoelace knotted neon drip.
plastic mats, pastel pain. Every spot feels like a fucking freight train.
Stiff shoulder, squeaky spine.
Breath bounces out of time.
Dude, for real, doing squats and especially like weighted squats. Oh man. Oof.
Glow up, go, go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Shaky shit shoes, cheap cunt shorts, slow, sloppy
You're
toes.
soft as fucking sofa stuck in wobbly slump.
You gonna grind that junk.
Jump, jump, jump.
The feet.
Glow up, go, go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Clumsy crap, crunches, crooked, cropped, core, lowland
From
flow.
flabby fuck flesh to flex and flashing lights.
You're awkward ass clowns now.
But you'll get tight.
You breathing yet? Or barely alive?
Uh-huh.
Pump that pulse.
You beautiful bricks. Chase that change.
You glorious grinder.
The dance. Oh my god.
My knees higher now.
Hearts hammer, we don't bow.
Sweat stripes, shirts all stuck, lungs loud, but we love the rush.
Bent back straight, hips in line.
Every tiny turn refined.
You were wobble.
Oh my god, a little birdie with the little way. That's so cute.
Always wiggle weaklings. Now you're steady on your feet, you former fuck pigs.
Oh my god. God dang.
Spine, no more spineless shits.
Same steps, sharper shine.
You absolute units.
Yeah.
Glow up, go, go. Snappy shit, kicker shoes. Tight teeth,
Oh, it's opted.
tippy toes.
You were soft as sofa, slow and slumped like sad cunts.
Now you're
Damn.
getting higher.
Thump, thump, thump.
Glow up, go, go.
Cleaner crunches.
Carved out core, full savage flow.
From flabby fuck flesh to flex and flashing lights.
You're fired up.
You're getting tight.
Oh, damn.
1, 2, 1, 2.
The little wiggle. They had the sky brows too.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Look at you.
You lightning bolts.
Who's quitting?
Wrong answer.
Work that willpower. You powerhouses.
Wide stance, weight uplift, you lazy lard asses. Legs
Damn.
locked in, lean and swift.
No more jiggle shits.
Mirror shows a mean new frame.
You transform twats.
Same names, brand new.
God damn.
Name.
Lines pop, muscles map like card fucking marble.
God damn.
In every lap. You absolute gods. 1, 2, 1, 2.
That's pain.
Push through. You pussy ghost.
3, 4, 3, 4.
Still sore. More. You sore ass whores.
5, 6,
Damn.
5, 6.
I'll go. You you trick, you weak will prick. 7878. You're the glow up, you're the great. Glow up, go, go. Stealing smiles, lean, lethal lines.
Goddamn.
Fucking glow.
Used to hide in baggy gear like bloated bitches.
Now you flex your fighting years as mean ass sons of bitches. Glow up, go, go.
Cut core, carved arms.
Full savage flow.
Do flexing, flashing
He went from being a little bird to a buff bird.
lights.
You showed up soft.
You leave here sliced.
Wow! Goddamn. Oh, goddamn.
Class complete. You came in clumsy clouds.
You walk out car from side.
He turned into a lion.
Blow up, ultra certified.
Ooh. Okay. That one was fun. Sorry, let me do it. Do the thing. That was really fun. And I don't know. That was fun. I liked it. Woo! Make sure to give them a subscribe and watch their stuff. I think it was Julie LaCroix. Okay. So this one is Mad Hatter's Downfall by Diabolical. Okay, it's a tribute music video to Mad Hatter Creations. Okay, okay. Let me rewind it so we can see. Oh. Got some Bayou stuff going on. Oh, we got some hardcore Bayou stuff going on. Ooh.
China coke cracks as it smiles on the salsa. Teapot bleeds, ink on the checkered floor. Card stuck fast in my tongue, tastes like copper. Queen in the mirror, writing more. Pocket watch swinging like a small brass guillotine. Secondhand chewing on my last clear thought. Top hat tall as a sermon on amphetamines. White gloves clap as the ceiling rises.
That's cool.
I keep falling down the Mad Hatter's hold a hill. Spinning on a silver spoon. Char carousel.
Boom.
Teacups in my rib cage boiling wet.
Oh, damn.
He says stay.
How did I'm curious what AI was used for that, because a lot of AI, like the main ones, are real precious about doing stuff like this. It's not like, I don't know. Maybe if you like trick it using like scientifical terms, but yeah.
For one more sip. Then he drags me by the lip. I keep falling down the Mad Hatter's hold a hill.
Oh. Ah.
Sugar cubes stacked like tiny tombstones.
Giving Art the Clown vibes.
With a different sin. Laughter stitched tight to the lining of my coat. Every breath I take keeps dragging it.
Oh, damn.
Smoke on a tray calls it supper. Feeds me riddles with a jagged fork. Painted grin wide as a cracked church window. Eyes like nails driven into cork. I keep falling down the Mad Hatter's hold a hill.
Oof.
Spinning
Damn.
on a silver spoon. Char
Ooh, I like that. That's cool.
cups in my rib cage boiling where I dwell. He says stay for one more sip. Then he
Uh-huh.
drags me by the lip. I keep falling down the Mad Hatter's hold a hill. Tablecloth catches like scripture on fire.
Oh, damn. That's cool. That's a real cool effect with the sigils appearing and then lighting on fire, and then the little chairs being pushed off. That's cool.
He calls my name in the steam on the kettle, says madness miss is just ordering a different design. I bite my tongue to taste the truth. It tastes like lace and engine fumes. He tips the room like a tilted crown. Says you're not falling, boy, you're finally going down. I keep falling down the bed. Hatters hold a hell. Spinning on a silver spoon.
Oh.
Charred carousel. Teacups in my rib cage, boiling where I dwell. He says stay for one more sip. You were made for this trip. I keep falling down the Mad Hatter's hold a hip.
Ooh, that's cool. Wow, that was fun. We went to the bayou and stuff. I like how I struggled to freaking say that. Oh, that's just me. I'm not good with words. Okay, this one's You Missed by Rhino Rocks. I think this might be in... I'm not too sure because I haven't seen this. So I'm barely, like, I'm blind reacting to this. It's probably something to do with that crazy shit that happened at that freaking dinner thing that the president had, where some psycho tried to fucking kill him again. Jesus. Craziness. Anyways. Well, not anyways, it's terrible, but we're reacting to the video, not talking about that at the moment. Anyways, we're going on.
Yeah. Another one. They keep swinging and whiffing. Secret Service on point. I'm still standing. You miss.
Oh, cool.
Another shot, another swing and miss.
Ooh, more Southern rock, yeah.
But I'm untouchable, bitch. From Butler to the ballroom, still standing tall. Donald J. Trump, the man who can't fall. You missed again. Better luck next time, amen.
Doot, doot.
I'm Teflon Don, Destiny's child. Keep trying, fools, but God's on my side. You missed. Saturday night at the Hilton, lights bright. Media elite sipping drinks, feeling right. Gunmen charges and with guns.
Wow.
In the ballroom, shining the night. Shots pop off, panic in the air, but Secret Service won like they didn't care. Trump and Melania hustled out clean. One officer agrees, but Vest was mean. You rushed the door, thought you'd be the hero, but nah, bro, you're just zero. Quango full of hate, anti this, anti that. Ended up in cuffs. How you like that?
Dude, that's so true. Quango's full of hate. I mean, especially that one. I mean, jeez, that's psychotic to want to even think to do some crazy shit like that.
You missed. Remember Butler roof boy with the scope. Gray's fist on blood on the coat. Crowd screaming, but I turned around slow. Fight, fight, fight. Stole the whole show. Then for the golf course. Quango in the bush. AK ready, buddy. Got the push. Secret Service dropped and pulled the trigger squeeze. Another L for the resistance, please. Pass once to Vegas. Whispers early days. Regan at the same hotel back in the haze. They all aim high, they all aim low. But here I am still running the show. Losers keep loading, keep plotting the end. But I'm built different, unbreakable trend. You missed. They hate the wins, they hate the wall, hate the economy, hate it all. Tried
Yep,
lawfare,
it's
tried
true.
war, tried the deep state, all fell short. Now guns and knives at the press dinner. Come on, man, get better.
Dude, that's true. The dude had guns and knives. Like, what the fuck? That's fucked up. It's crazy, man. What the hell? That's insane. Like, Jesus.
Living in the motorcade, untouchable, upgraded. Every fail just make me stronger. 4 more years, now I make it longer. You miss. Another shot, another swing and a miss. Bullets flying, but I'm untouchable, bitch. From Butler to the ballroom,
Yeah.
standing tall. Donald J. Trump, the man who can't fall. You missed again.
Teflon Don. It's true.
Yeah, you missed again and again. Keep swinging, clowns.
Exactly. Fucking clowns.
Forever, you missed, bitches.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a neat little diss towards that crazy person that tried to hurt the president and the whoever else. I mean, geez. That's good. I feel like the little country rock with a little bit of rap vibe totally fit the vibe of the, you know, the lyrics and the situation that it was commented about. Is good stuff from Rhino Rocks. Good stuff from everybody in the community. Woo. Okay. This one is Perfection's Curse for Ofted. Okay, I'm guessing it is a tribute video to Ofted. So also let me know if I'm mispronouncing that. But I guess, yeah, I haven't seen this. Oh, an apple and oh. Damn, that is a cool effect. Like having it like crushed like that and then turning from an apple and then to a brain, like kind of like have you guys ever had like a hollow candy, like why am I thinking Ferrero Rochers? They're not hollow that much. More like a Easter bunny thing. Either way, that was a cool effect. That was a real badass effect. Oh.
Doesn't matter.
Oh.
What I rather is never done. There's always more, pushing harder, tweak it darker, never out the door.
Oh, cool.
Probably getting tough, run it back, cut it down, didn't work. Now at a crown, it'll never be quite enough for me. You might accept, I never will. Much regret, but a pill need to chill. Ever seeking, searching for the perfect frame, the perfect bore, perfection's chore.
Always climbing, always trying, always higher, never ending.
Yeah.
Hurts, it's so much worse. Can't escape perfection's curse.
Oh. Wow. Oh my god, isn't that the worst when you have stuff like an idea in your head and whether you're using AI to gen it or you're making things a more like old-fashioned traditional way? It's so frustrating when it doesn't come out the way you want it to. At least for me it is. I'm sure like when you get, I guess it's kind of like not writer's block, like I guess sort of like writer's block. God, it's so frustrating.
Always climbing, always trying,
Yeah.
higher, never ending. This one hurts.
Yeah, it's true. It happens.
Worse, can't escape.
Creator's block. That's a good way of putting it. Oh my god. I love that distorted bass. Oh. Oh, damn.
Never win, what is this? Slap again, crush it up, top it out, frustration builds, give a shout. You might say, good enough, I will not getting rough, complaining tough, getting close, perfect love, minus toast, cut it up, never stop, burning out, just walk away. Can't do that, have to stay, mind on fire, waste away, drop the keys, stress release.
Always climbing, always trying.
Ooh. It's also particularly frustrating if you happen to be in a hyper focus and you're really trying to like get something out the way you want it and it's not going, and whatever the case is, you know, and you're just like, it's just like, I don't know, it like it's not going, then you get filled with rage because it's like it breaks your hyper focus and you're just like, ah, like yeah, it happens. Ooh. In the old days, you would bounce ideas off each other. No, yeah, it's true. And then it also sucks, like, okay, because sometimes you're trying to like do that to like, I guess like kind of make your brain kind of do like a refresh, and then I've had it happen to me where, so, well, okay, it's just it's on me. I'm not, you know, blaming on the other person. They're trying to help, and that's good, but it still doesn't. For some reason, you just kind of like execute it, you know, however the hell you're trying to do it, and then you just get more frustrated. At that point, I do feel like you should just step away and take a little bit of a break. But no, yeah, because then, yeah, people just start making the same stuff over and over. Which, I mean, is okay, but I get when you're trying to do something like super different. Yeah. But the thing is like, it's gonna, like, overlap like that is gonna happen. I mean, super original type stuff, like, it doesn't, originality like that, I feel like it's not, it doesn't, like, it doesn't really exist, you know, like, come on, there's always going to be some type of overlap, and that's okay, but I do get when it's like, no, it's too much, you know. Sorry, I'm just adjusting that a little bit. But that was a good song. That was a good song. It was fun. Okay. So, this one is Out of Frame Somewhere by I think Taro Dravenox. Okay, some music. That's okay. Wait.
I'm standing in the middle of it, faces turning, colors blend, like a painting full of motion, but I'm nowhere in the lens.
Ooh.
I hear my name inside the noise, but it fades before it lands. Like a figure sketched too lightly, you don't quite understand. I move along with every moment.
Ooh, it got a little country.
But every step is half a second out of time and out of tune. I almost speak, I almost stay, but something pulls my words away. Every smile's in focus clear. I'm the blur that lingers near. I'm in the picture, but I'm not there in the light. But out of frame somewhere, like a line that fades, or a sketch half-made. I'm in the moment, but it slips through like it's happening to someone new. I keep reaching, I lose.
Ooh.
Every thread I try to use. I laugh along a little too late, like I'm catching up again. Every rhythm's on
Oh, is this like about not fitting in communities and stuff? Because I totally can relate to that. I've always felt like, I mean, well, I'll talk more about that in a different stream, but I totally understand that feeling where it's like you're there, but you're not. How do I say it? It's like everybody knows how they fit, I guess, within like the puzzle, or but you don't, or you do, but not in the same, not exactly like how other people might, and you're kind of just like, huh, I wonder why that is. So I could relate.
Margins of a page they never read.
Yeah.
Erasing marks where I should be. Smudged and undefined. If I vanished from the canvas, would they even see the line? Every word just feels misplaced, like it doesn't fit my space. Every color, every tone feels like it was never my own. I'm in the picture, but I'm not there in the light. But I'm frame somewhere like a line that fades, or a sketch half made. I'm in the moment, but it slips through like it's happening to someone new. I keep
Yeah.
every thread I try to use. Maybe I don't have to chase every moment, every place. Maybe there's a quieter side where the soft lines come alive. Maybe there's a different view where the blurred still counts as true. Then I found a space that opened like a blank but waiting page. Not
Ooh.
perfect lines or polished colors, but a shared and honest shade. Every voice was like an answer to a question I couldn't say. Every flaw just added texture in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
I don't hesitate or hold back. I don't fade into the blue. Every part I kept in shadow finally feels like it's in view.
Ooh.
The picture, I'm fully there in the frame, and I don't disappear when I cross that line. I'm right on time. Now the moment doesn't slip away. I can feel it. I can't stay. I was reaching. Now I move like I've got nothing left to prove. I belong here in the moment.
I would say it is a good feeling when you find a community of people that actually like get you and you fit in, instead of feeling uh, like an outsider. Acceptance is good.
Been with everyone around.
Yeah.
Not a background, not a blur. I'm a line that's finally found what I'm looking for. The frame where I belong.
Oh, kitty! It works! The kitty mode works!
No more fading at the edge. No more drifting out of view. I was never just a shadow. I just needed something true.
Woo! The bunk works! Yes!
静寂の街に孤独
That, ooh. the bunk work. Maybe I should make it a little. No, maybe that's a good length for the bunk. Just a sec. Yay! I set those up by myself. So I'm proud of myself. Okay. So this one is The Song of the Violet and Gold Mask by JJ.
静寂の街に鼓動が響く紫の影が月を咲く白い呼吸闇に落ちて金の瞳が
I like the Japanese.
上を見てる仮面の下に名はいらないただ従えこの夜の掟
Ooh, cool.
に咲く冷たい花血の匂いさえこすみになる誰も触れない支配の椅子そこに座るは沈黙の土手紫のローブ揺れるたび弱さは全て消えてゆく黄色の光が指を這い白い月だけ真実を知る彼女の声はややいわやりする遠く一言で世界が一斉で救う逃げ場はないこの街はもう彼女の愛の中吸い込まれたら最後戻る道など存在しない紫を噛んで仮面夜の全てを背負う誰もな
I think Murasaki means purple, but I'm not sure. I haven't done my Duolingo in like a year.
呼べないただボスと震える白い影が踊る黄色い影釣りが走る沈黙の中で響く終焉の合図紫を何の仮面血よりも深い誓いこの街は彼女のもの生きることさえ溶かせ記憶は言葉じゃない視線一つで刻まれる裏切りの温度は氷よりも熱い罰になる白い手袋の指先で運命の線を引き直す黄色い日が消える夜誰かの未来が終わる夜それでも誰も背けないその仮面の奥を見たいから祈り
It's giving big like anime opening vibes. Or no, endings are a bit more slower, so I would say anime opening vibes. Also, yeah, I'm gonna say this image of I guess it's their character is really badass. I like how they look like in the Japanese style room with the katana and then the little fancy chair. I don't know if it's meant to be a throne or just a fancy chair. And then I really like this detail back here, this Japanese style incense, like the smoke detail in it, I think looks really good. Yeah, a little bit. I can see that. I can definitely see the Yakuza vibes. Or here. Oh no, see, yeah, sorry, we're talking about the picture. Sorry guys, I'm fucking stupid.
は届かないここは髪の外側紫の静寂が全てを飲み込んでゆく紫大判の仮面夜を飛べる情影さえ膝をつくこの街の絶対白い嵐が舞う黄色い刃がひらめく名前を失ったまま忠誠だけが残る紫砲丸の仮面誰も逆らえない心臓の鼓動さえ彼女のリズムになる仮面を外さない理由は誰 知らない。それでも人は惹かれてく。壊されると分かっていても、紫は孤独、黄色は裁き、白は終わり、そして彼女は始まり。
Oh yeah, that time signature change definitely anime opening vibes is good. Wow. I want to know how they made the song to be in Japanese. Like, did they use Google Translate? Do they just know how to speak Japanese? I'm curious. Because it sounds fucking badass. Why didn't... Oh, let me let it autoplay. Oh, it's a new one. This is a new one. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, this one is, it's still by JJ, I believe. It's Orgullosa de ser yo, which Orgullosa de ser yo means proud of being me in Espanol, for all you people who don't speak Espanol.
Yeah. No me importa lo que digan. Nave entró él y todavía sigo aquí. Mírame ahora.
Oh damn, okay.
They said I wouldn't make it, said I fall apart. Pero tengo fuego corriendo en el corazón, no paro el motor. All the doubt, all the hate, yeah, I worry like stars. Ahora brillan como...
Yo, we got some reggaeton going on here? Hell yeah, your girl loves some reggaeton. You just need some of that music to shake your freaking booty to. Yes, it seems like it's in Spanish and also in English, which happens a lot with certain reggaeton artists and stuff. Well, I would say reggaeton is like the style of the music, but yeah, it's in Spanglish.
When I step in the dark, they try to box me in, try to break my name, pero soy diferente, nunca juego su game. From the dirt to the light, I build my lane. Ahora grito bien fuerte, nunca feeling no shame, no más hiding. I'm done with the fear. Cada lágrima me trajo aquí, now I'm standing crystal clear. This is who I'm meant to be. I'm proud of being me. I finally see, no chains on my soul. Ahora soy libre. They can't hold me down, no me van a cambiar. I rise from the flames, yeah, I'm owning my scars. Proud of being me.
I really like this, how the Spanish is mixed in with the English. It sounds really good.
Mírame así, con todo el dolor. I tend to believe this is my life, así soy yo. And I ain't never gonna let it go. Caminé por fuego, nunca me quemé. Every bruised and lesson, now I elevate. They were laughing loud when I lost my way. Ahora callados when they hear my name. No soy perfecto,
Right?
but I keep it real. Cada cicatriz is the proof I heal. I was lost in the noise, couldn't even feel. Ahora vibro alto, yeah, I know the deal. No más hiding, ya no hay dolor. Cada paso me hizo fuerte, now I'm rising. Hear me roar, I decide my own fate. I'm proud
Who did this one? I thought I mentioned it. JJ.
of being me. I finally see, no chains on my soul. Ahora soy libre.
Oh.
Try to write my story, pero no sabían que yo soy el fuego que nunca se enfría.
Right? It's true.
Soy mi verdad, I got nothing to prove. I'm proud to be me. Can't you see? Now no hay cadenas holding me from the pain to the ground. I survived it all. Oh, mírame rise, nunca gonna fall. I'm proud to be me. Fuerte y real. Every scar turned into steel. This is my life, así soy yo, and I'm never gonna let it go.
It's giving Becky G vibes. I've only heard a little bit of her stuff though.
Así soy yo. Proud to be me. Always.
Ooh. Before I get ahead of myself. That was cool. I mean, they're all cool, but I like the Espanol. Okay, let me give this a like. Oh my god, I must have forgotten to subscribe to Keybox. Okay, well, I fixed that. I subscribed. Lyric assist and video art breakup. Hey, I use ChatGPT to help with lyrics. You know, I struggle with making AI music. I don't know how to prompt it right. And also, I don't know how to write lyrics, which is kind of funny considering that I was in like marching band when I was like in school and stuff, and concert band, so I know how to read music and all that, and I took a little bit of music theory, but for some reason, like prompting it in the Suno and stuff, I don't think I'm very good at it, at least not compared to a lot of the people, or pretty much all the people in the Skybrowse community. Like, it's still something I'm learning how to do. So yeah, don't let people tell you that it's so easy to do everything with AI and stuff. No, because each one is different, and you gotta learn how to talk to them. And not all of them prompt in the same way, because you can't always necessarily go from how to do like an image prompt on Grok and say and think that the same things apply like for Suno, because it doesn't. Not all the way. Okay, this one is a background noise by Keyvox. Oh, we got those softies, those softy rock. Ooh, I like the little galaxy tail. Okay, softy country, my bad.
I'm the guy you pass and forget you saw. Just another face in the afterthought. I've been that way for as long as I know. Never the spark, just the afterglow. Kinda learned to live with the quiet side, where the world moves on and I let it slide. Yeah, I get lost in the blur of it all, like I was never there to begin. But there's a place
I'm gonna say I really like the little rustic cabin in the woods look, because I like camping. Right? Sometimes the AI for Suno, I don't know, it just doesn't... I don't know how to talk to Suno right yet. Oh, you're currently working on something and fighting with it? I must have... sorry, I misunderstood. Anyways, yeah, Rosa likes forests. I like that whole little, like, rustic look, that, Keyvox has. Well, on a little bit of a side tangent, I do generally like everyone's, like, little personas. Like, I think it's so cool. Everybody's different VTube and online characters. I just like seeing people's creativity and stuff like that. I've been using Sonado because it's free for right now for songs, but it's definitely lacking. Oh, like compared to Suno AI.
don't feel small when I walk back in. I'm just background noise out there, fading in and out, nobody cares.
I need to be funnier though.
like I used to, 'cause I'm somebody here. When they're holding me near, to my wife and my son, I'm more than enough. Yeah, I'm somebody here.
Aw, that's cute.
I don't got stories they write about, no big dreams that I chase down, just a worn-out truck and a steady pay, and a reason to come home every day. There's a light in the hall and a screen door creak, little arms that wrap around my knees, and every doubt that I drag around gets lost when they find me. Yeah, I ain't much in a world that runs on louder men and bigger plans, but I'm everything to the ones who reach for my hands. I'm just background noise out there, fading in and out, nobody cares.
I was gonna say, like, isn't that like what's really how do I say it? When you're out and about, you know, you're kind of just like a face in the crowd, in a sea of faces and stuff. But when you have people that are important to you, whether it's like your family or a spouse, or well, or kids, or like your family, like if you have siblings, or even like adopted family or friends, and you feel like important, I feel like that's what's really like, that's what those moments like that are what make life really like special, you know, or unlife if you're undead. If you're an undead vampire like me.
Like a song that never quite breaks through, but I don't mind it like I used to, 'cause I'm somebody here. When they're holding me near, to my wife and my son, I'm more than enough. Yeah, I'm somebody here. Maybe I was never meant to be seen by a million eyes in a million scenes. Maybe all I am's a quiet life in the middle of a love that's mine. And if that's all I ever get to be, then that's all I'll ever need.
Oh, that's cute.
I might fade where the world don't look, like a line they never read, but I'm written deep in a different book where their hearts are kept. I'm just background noise out there, fading in and out, nobody cares. Like a song that never quite breaks through, but I don't mind it like I used to, 'cause I'm somebody here. Yeah, I'm somebody here. To my wife and my son, I'm more than enough. Yeah, I'm somebody here. Ain't nobody out there, but I'm somebody here.
Now let's take a moment.
Oops. Got a little ahead of myself. Okay. That one was nice. That was a cute little song. I liked it. I liked it. I liked the little sweet, the little cute message behind it. Oh, I kitty again. The cat noise was not part of the kitty mode. I just threw that in there for extra. Why did I get bonked? Hello, Ty. Why the Mags? Why did you bonk me? I didn't even thirst yet.
Oh, my pussy!
God damn it. Oh my god. Lol. Oh. Okay, this one is oh my god. This one's a blade. Oh my god, I got tongue twisted. Blade Battle Bludgeons by Rhino Rocks.
Oh, my pussy!
Oh my god. Jeez. Twice in a row? Damn.
Now let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, Blade Battle Bludgeons.
Yo, are you tired of playing games that actually try? Tired of fun?
Uh-huh.
Tired of soul? Then download Blade Battle Bludgeons! Blade Battle Bludgeons! Collect your heroes, grind them till they're numb one. Blade Battle Bludgeons!
Wait, I just realized this. I think this is supposed to be a parody of Raid Battle Legends, and it took me a good solid minute to realize that.
It's exactly like every other game, but with Bludgeons. Download now, it's free. Till you wanna win. Blade Battle Bludgeons.
No, it wasn't.
You get one starter guy named Sir Generic McStab. Level him to 60, give him 6-piece attack sets, bruh. Ancient shard, epic sacred shard, legendary. Or you pull 17 rares that all say slightly better than Barry. Farm the campaign on auto, chapter 1 through 24. Same 3 bosses, same 3 maps, same 3 rewards. Put them in a set called Blood Jonas Fury. It gives them 3% more damage. And a funny hat, don't worry.
There are many great characters to collect. My personal favorite is Reyna, the red-headed elf.
Build a team of 5. Watch the turn meter fill. Who goes first? R-Ring Pay, baby. Enjoy the thrill. Or just pay for energy refills. That works too. Blade Battle Bludgeons.
Lol.
Collect your heroes, grind them till they're numb ones. Blade Battle Bludgeons. It's exactly like every other game, but with bludgeons. Join a clan called Bludgeon Legion 69. War for glory every weekend, lose every time.
Oh my god.
PvP, rock, paper, scissors with stats. Meta changes every patch. Good luck with that. Dungeons got the blood.
Why does that happen so much? And not even just with this game, but like with games in general. Happens to League. It's starting to happen with Rivals. Like, oh my goodness. Ah!
Beast the blade, Golem the void, whatever. All drop the same green boots you already got 14 of clever. Faction wars, Hydra clan boss on rotation. It's all the same spreadsheet, just different notation.
I can't wait to see you in the arena.
Become a legend, or at least a slightly better version of Steve. Unlock new champions that look exactly like.
She told me she likes Greek mythology. We watched Hercules Legendary Journeys together. Only got to the first episode. Oh, you mean, oh. Why did she not like it? Also, I would recommend Hercules, Young Hercules, and of course, although it's not super mythology based, but the Xena Warrior Princess. No way, I take it back. It kind of is. With that whole shit with her and Ares. I don't know who Steve is, but I guess fuck Steve.
The old ones, but blue. Raid Shadow Legends. Wait, no. Blade Battle Bludgeons. Blade Battle Bludgeons. Where every champion's backstory is he hits up real hard ones. Blade Battle Bludgeons. It's not weird to play if it's not original, but it's got bludgeons. So download today. Waste your life away in the most generic fantasy game ever made. Blade Battle Bludgeons.
Damn. Well, hi, Diabolical.
Battle Bludgeons out now on all platforms that would take it.
Not gonna lie. Now I want to play Blade Battle Bludgeons. Not Raid Shadow Legends, but Blade Battle Bludgeons. I know those. Oh, she had to go to school. I forget that, you know, school's a thing. Okay, this one is Underworld Rave. Sorry, it's Underworld. God damn, why am I getting tongue twisted? Underworld Rave by Nightway Fantasy. Jeez. Oh yeah. A drinking drink. Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. Yeah, it is. Oh, also hi Goji Resort. Oh my god, that sounds... I don't know if that's fun or bad. Hi Kiwi! Oh my god, that beat with the drop and then the distorted bass is so sick. Like, oh. Oh. Oh, my model glitched. Whoa. God dang, fucking autoplay. Anyways, that was really good. That was good. Lightweight Fantasy always kills it. I like their stuff. I mean, everybody's stuff is good, but yeah. Okay, let me reload this page because it's being silly. Okay. So now we're doing like regular reacts. Like of drama and stuff. Let's see. This one is The Problem with Ground News, Bias Exposed by Lord Intellectual. Let me give him a... The Daily Disinformation Virus. Oh my god. I feel like that is very loud to get your floors redone. Ooh, okay. It's a popular news aggregation site, Ground News. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, the opening! The opening is cute. It's good. Oh, flip. Let me move myself. I'm blocking Lord Intellectual. Okay. Here we go. Let me adjust the window capture, because getting a little... Yeah, no, yeah, I noticed that. I'm fixing it. Okay, wait. Okay, that should be... That should be good. Is that good? I feel like that's okay. Sit upon his face! What the Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. That fucking killed me. Oh my god. May I take but throne, my lord? Oh my god, it's funny.
Hello there. Welcome all. And thank you so much for stopping by. Guys, we will be looking at a new channel today. This actually came across my dash, and I haven't seen the Daily Disinformation before, so we're going to
Okay.
form our opinions together today. However, it is covering a topic that I have a lot of opinions on, and I haven't seen
Okay.
reported elsewhere. And we're going to be discussing ground news. You immediately know who they are if you spend basically any time on. I was going to say Google, but no, Google's incorrect. YouTube. YouTube is the word I'm looking for, as they are quite prolific when it comes to sponsoring
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about them as sponsors, but I don't know if I've actually watched any of their videos.
various different YouTubers. Now, I've watched about 2 minutes into this video, and there's a few interesting things already. So hopefully this is going to be quite a good one for us to react to, and let's give it a watch.
From this video's sponsor, Ground News.
Ground News to sponsor this video.
Ground News.
Okay.
Ground News is my favorite. Ground News.
Ground News. The Ground News.
Ground News.
Ground News.
Ground News.
Ground News.
Ground News.
Ground News. Ground News. Ground News.
The quartering crash up. What the hell is the quartering? I've been hearing about it, but I'm like, what the fuck is that? I don't know what it is.
Ground News. So, if you have watched any kind of videos on YouTube covering business, finance,
Okay.
or current events, you have almost certainly had ground news.
Is that better?
To your subconscious. For-profit news coverage has become increasingly partisan as media companies have figured out that telling people what they want to hear makes way more money than doing real journalism.
And this is the hook that got me, because guys, you have heard me say over and over and over again, you are not immune to propaganda.
Tracking channels, pulling strings, description. Wow, that's fucked up.
No matter who you are, this includes myself, and you always need to fight to get out of your own echo chamber. The algorithm will tailor itself to you, and it will reinforce whatever engages you. Remember, the algorithm does not care, honestly, about what your political opinions are. It is an engagement machine, because that is how they drive profit. And we're going to get into a lot of shareholder value versus consumer value and that type of thing later on in the video. I can already sense that coming. But from an intellectual perspective and a logical perspective, you need to understand that, yes, you do need to develop trust with certain, let's say, news organizations or certain sources of authority, because it is impossible for you to be an authority on literally every subject in the world. There's just not enough time in a single lifetime, or even 10 lifetimes or 100 lifetimes, for one person to have the expertise to be an authority on every subject. So it is a natural consequence that we are going to develop these reliances on media sources and individual sources and primary, secondary, tertiary sources, all of this type of thing. But you will always need to understand that. How would I word this in a way that doesn't sound?
This is why you don't always trust the trust me bruh stuff.
We are all dumb at times. Even Lord Intellectual is dumb at times, because
bro, for real, I'm done a lot of the times. He has a voice that would put me to sleep. For real, for real.
Humans like to be efficient, and we need to understand that we do have those biases and we do have those filters in place. So the mission statement behind Ground News is something that I very much agree with, where it tries to present information as objectively as possible to give you alternative viewpoints and to basically present the biases within the media that you are consuming. Now, whether or not they fully achieve that goal is something that we're going to discuss in this video. But it is extremely important for you to remember that, as I said, you're not immune to propaganda. And whilst Ground News is sort of the subject of today, I do like the idea that we're going to have organizations that do try to present that. But sorry, to tie it back to what we're actually viewing on screen.
Okay.
With everything being an engagement machine, particularly mainstream media and mainstream news, you need to understand they're always going to sensationalize. They're always going to hit those extremes, because those extremes are what gets the reactions. If you want a perfect example, look at the Panama Papers. Like, that should have been, like, if they made a movie.
What the hell is that? I'm sorry, I'm not that tuned into like political shit. But I will say, yeah, the media does sensationalize a lot of shit. They turn like something little into something crazy.
About that, it would be the most high stakes, intense action thriller, basically, about, oh, we're going to release these papers and it's going to change the world.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? A lot of legitimate journalism and investigation went on to reveal the Panama Papers, and what changed? Very little, if anything, at all. So I want
Jack
you to bear that in mind
and shit.
as we move forward.
Ground News is apparently here to fix all that by highlighting journalistic biases, fact-checking misinformation, and alerting you when you might not be getting the whole story.
Again, this is
Okay.
good, and I do also just the community notes. Community notes are
Yep.
such. I am so glad that those have been implemented. They just even yes, community notes also have their own set of issues, but when it comes to presenting actual information, it is just such a great tool to have. And none of these sources can be relied on in and of themselves, guys, but it all contributes towards a tool belt or a set of tools that we can use in combination to you'll never 100% get rid of false rhetoric, and there'll always be nuance and there'll always be room for other opinions and different takes, and two different people can look at the same objective facts and come away with two totally different opinions and ideas of what actually happened. But for the most part, when you rely on actual factual data that can be replicated, that can be peer reviewed and can be verified, then you get 90% of the way there. And the rest of
That sounded like Pixar didn't happen.
the remaining 10%, I should say, kind of open to, I'm not going to say interpretation, but we do live in a messy world. And guys, I want to
Yes, exactly. That's what would happen. That would make it seem like that, like a bone kaiju or some shit rampaging through the city. Destruction.
I want to hear. Okay, here's something for you to put in the comments. I want to hear your examples of this, because there are. I mean, I did a video about a month ago before all of the account issues, where we were looking at
Oh yeah.
everything to do with ICE and how people have totally different opinions and totally different. They walk away with totally different ideas on what happened.
Yeah.
Watching the same video.
Truck slam. The
where
breather
same
weapon would
actions
be
happen in the
scary.
exact same video, and you can get entirely different viewpoints on
The
that.
breath
Now,
weapon.
everything that was happening with ICE, obviously very emotionally charged, and there's a lot of other competing priorities in there. But
Yeah.
that's one example from me, and I'd be very curious to hear if you have any examples from your own experience.
That's the pitch, anyway. And they are spending an ungodly amount of cash on influencers and traditional advertising to get the word out about it.
Yeah.
Now, putting aside for a second that this money had to come from somewhere.
And I love that he highlighted that.
It's
The
true.
bigger problem is this whole platform is probably only going to make things worse. For as long as events have been recorded and reported on, there has always been an inherent bias to how that news is portrayed. Modern commercial media outlets are big businesses that have to keep their investors happy.
It's true. The freaking with the foot. Oh, wait. Is the breath weapon gonna be come?
Pay attention to this section in particular, because this is what convinced me to make a react to this video.
Okay.
To keep their investors happy, they have to keep their advertisers happy. And to keep their advertisers happy, they need access to news sources. And to maintain access to their news sources, they can't really push too hard.
Yay!
Established corporate interests.
It'd be like a tsunami.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again, guys. Remember, you are the product. You are not the customer. The customer is the shareholder in whatever company it is. And what do shareholders want? They want infinite growth. They want to invest $1 today and withdraw $1,000 tomorrow. That is what they want. It is essentially, well, to oversimplify to an extreme degree, all they want is a pump and dump. And you're just the mechanism through which they extract value. Remember, the old way of doing it was value generation, where it's you build a good product.
God damn, I'm a pump and dump. Damn.
You add value to someone's life, and you can expect to be compensated for
I do the pumping.
That is no longer the way that we operate. It is about extracting the value. This is why subscription prices go up. This is why everything is moving to a subscription service. And we're about to spin off into a whole other tangent. But
what? Okay, wait, guys, BRB. I have to go potty.
got the stick and twist it!
Oh, my pussy!
Oh my god, what the fuck? What caught what? What are... Why did I get bonked? Quick, steal her shit while she's away. Damn.
If you want a real world example of that, look at what they did to Toys R Us. Toys R Us got bought out by private equity. Everyone who was part of the initial buyout made Toys R Us take out all of these ungodly amount of loans. They then paid all of that loan amount out as dividends, and those initial investors then sold their stake and their share after they'd loaded the company with all of this debt that they would never be able to survive from. Got their bag back,
Goddamn.
and they left and moved off to greener pastures, which if you didn't know, do let me know if you want me to make a dedicated video on that, because I'm oversimplifying here to an extreme degree, but
there's still like Toys R Us in like Macy's, but it's like a baby Toys R Us.
Ooh, that is something that I have very, very strong opinions on.
And
I think would make a very, very interesting video, as long as you guys actually want to hear the full story there. But just remember that is essentially what's going on. Your attention and your time does have a monetary value attached to it. So the question becomes, how can they extract that time, attention, and by extension monetary value from you? The answer is to give you all of these sensationalized headlines and make sure that you click and read and get ads served to you. So they'll do whatever they have to do to...
I don't want ads served to me, man. Only pee-pee.
Serve those ads to you.
Important stories have been left on the editor's desk because it would make the wrong people upset for as long as journalism has existed. But you have probably noticed that it does kind of feel like it's getting worse. Today,
I'm alive.
What news outlet you choose to watch or read, you might get a completely opposite interpretation of events.
Zelensky really screwed up. President Trump is not just changing American foreign policy. He is reorienting America's moral compass.
What?
A supposedly neutral platform like...
Man, do these freaking news quangos really say bullshit like that? Goddamn. Instead of ads, how about anal for money? Right? It's true. And it sounds just as comfortable.
Ground news.
Some pay her internet bills.
These opposing opinions masquerading as news would be great if it worked. But there are a few problems with adding yet another filter between you and current events. And at the very least, before you spend...
There is also something to be said where you do need to develop your own media literacy, and you do need to develop the tools and techniques to be able to spot emotional manipulation and propaganda and that type of thing yourself, because you're not always going to be able to rely on a theoretical platform like Ground News.
A big hint is if they're trying to super virtue signal with something like being of like a marginalized group of people or whatever, that's a big red flag that they're trying to sensationalize you or whatever.
It's, again, I do agree with the mission statement, but unless literally every piece of media then goes through Ground News, and then you're offloading that critical thinking onto another organization, which again puts you in a vulnerable position. So Ground News, again, would be a tool, or a organization like Ground News would be a tool in the belt. It would be a shortcut. essentially. And I'm of the opinion, as long as you recognize that it is a shortcut, and before you ever actually take any action or you form any solid beliefs based on what you see on something like ground news, you remember to actually go through and have a proper look at it so that you can exercise your own critical thinking, then I think it's fine. But
Yeah.
you can't rely on it, whether it's ground news or an organization like ground news, just on its own, because you need to develop those skills for yourself, because you will use those skills in other areas of life as well.
Yep.
$100
It's true.
a year on yet another subscription, you should understand.
I did not know it was $100 a year, though.
But don't even get me started on subscriptions, man.
What those problems are. Number one.
Sorry, I'm starting and stopping. That was just, I get, so this is a blind react, that's how you know. But yeah, I didn't realize an organization that is providing a service like this, yes, does deserve to be paid. You should absolutely. That is one. A service like this is one service where I can see a subscription being of value. Whether it's worth $100 a year, though, that's roughly what, $7.50, $8 a month, give or take. Yeah, it's a bit tricky.
Hell no. You know what I could do with the $100? Wait, that sounded wrong. I started that off and it sounded hella wrong. I did not mean for it to sound wrong.
Let me know what you guys think. Would you pay $8 a month for a service like ground news? It's one of those things where it's going to be different for every people. If you read a lot of ground news, then it absolutely makes sense. But if it's just something that's in the background that comes across your dash every now and then.
The thing is that it starts at $8, right? Then they're going to keep jacking up the price. Or they're like, if you pay like $10, you get X News Plus or whatever. It's like,
Becomes a little bit harder. Because costs do add up like that. But then again, if they don't charge you anything, then they're back to being reliant on advertisers and then reliant on shareholders, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
I will need to actually check.
It's a vicious cycle.
But hey, maybe we'll talk about it in this video.
Is who it gets its money from.
True.
Is the oversimplified way it categorizes biases. Number 3 is the use of AI to further remove you from what is actually happening.
Oh my god. What is up with the AI hate? Jesus. Alright, we'll get to that when we get there.
Better, simpler, cheaper alternatives you can use to do exactly the same thing. And finally...
Right? Just listen to what your freaking Thea and Grandma and Grandpa say, man. You'll get the news like that.
The biggest problem of all is the biases it can't account for. So yeah, starting with that money problem. They claim in their advertising that they are independently subscriber funded.
Ground news themselves are independently owned and funded by subscribers.
The fuck does that even mean?
That is exactly what you want. But we'll see. He sounds like he's leading into something here, so let's see what he says.
Like myself, and they're vetted by 3 different independent news monitoring organizations.
But that's stretching the truth so far that it might as well be a
What?
lie. All of the advertising they have been doing is not cheap. There is a reason you can't avoid their message, and that's because they are conservatively spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month here on YouTube alone.
Damn.
And that's on top of expenses like hosting their website, paying their staff, and renting their office.
Yeah.
All of this costs a lot of money. And while today the company might have a lot of subscribers, it didn't start out like this. They are a private company, so financials and public records are scarce. But according to their own website, the company was backed by a handful of mission-aligned independent individual investors with no ties to corporate media.
Independent individual investors with no ties to corporate media. Okay.
Big tech or government affiliations. That sounds great, but it's almost so specific that
it sounds like fake bullshit. It sounds fake and gay. Like, not real. Like, they just put a bunch of words together that sound like, ooh, you should trust us. Not like a legit thing. I don't know.
It raises some red flags. If I was asking you to come and hang out with some new pals I just met, and I told you, don't worry, because they're a bunch of chill guys who have no ties to the KGB, the mob, or ivory poachers,
that's
not a great sign. Now, of course,
He's making the asbestos-free cereal argument.
That's a silly, speculative example.
The
But
hell?
all we have is speculation. Because for a company that's all about transparency of information,
Mm-hmm.
that's all they have ever said about the source of their founding capital. They have actually been questioned about these investors multiple times online before, and every time they respond with the exact same generic copy and paste.
Ground News was co-founded by siblings Harleen Kaur and Suk Singh. We are backed by a handful of mission-aligned independent. Oh man, freaking copy pasta shit.
From their about page. Realistically, most private equity and venture capitalists are not aligned with corporate media, big tech, or the government. But that doesn't mean they don't have their own objectives, which is primarily making a profit. Now, I actually reached out to Ground News for further clarification around how much money they raised from their investors and what their background actually was.
Little monkey.
Instead of just what it wasn't. But as of the time of releasing this video, I have not heard back from them. Now, they are a rapidly growing business with a lot going on, so not taking the time to respond to some random wannabe YouTuber is not a smoking gun by itself. But it should be a simple question with a simple answer for a company that is built on transparency. So, anyway,
Allegedly.
I had to do a little bit more.
Oh, the kitty.
Ground News is actually the second business started by a holding company called Snapwise Incorporated. It was founded by siblings Harleen Kaur and Sukh Singh, and before reshaping global media, they worked for an impressive list of consulting companies, startups, and even now.
Now, see, this is the type of, for lack of a better term, investigative journalism that we like to see, actually checking the sources. So this is very good points.
NASA.
Damn.
The first company they founded was called UCIC, which was supposed to be like a real-time version of Google Street Views, but is now defunct. The point is that with their background in startups and management,
I feel like that's dangerous, man. You're gonna see somebody like freaking scratching their ass outside their house or some shit, like in real time.
Consulting, these non-affiliated investors are most likely just wealthy institutions or individuals that the founders had developed relationships with. It's also not immediately disqualifying, but it should also be noted that the founders of Ground News don't have a background in journalism. Realistically, they aren't building this company after decades of seeing the problems in the failing journalism industry. They are building it for the same reason they started their other company, because it's a trendy business that can raise cash. But again, every single issue that has been raised so far easily be addressed with a little bit of transparency around their financials and their investors. As a brand that makes a big deal in all of their advertising about exposing who really owns the media companies you are getting your news from, their own vagueness about the same issue is ironic at best.
Yeah.
This is an excellent point.
But where their money is coming from is actually far from the biggest problem here. The bigger issue is who is not getting the money. Ground News works by scraping articles from thousands of different sources and then bringing together the bullet points on their website. The problem this creates is that most people won't go and read from those sources after they have seen the highlights, which means those media organizations are denied ad or subscription revenue from their work. Now, I know it's hard to feel bad for giant media companies, but remember, just a few months ago, Honey was exposed for being the biggest scam in YouTube history by stealing affiliate revenue of social media influencers.
What? I didn't know that. Damn, it's a good thing I never use it.
Not calling Ground News a scam. In fact, I really want them to just tweak a few things to provide a much better service. But this revenue shifting is basically exactly the same thing as what Honey was doing. But I would argue that, as bad as they can be, news outlets need money more than influencers do. Part of the reason that journalism has become more polarized is that it's very hard to make money by just reporting the news these days.
Yeah, because people want to hear that bullshit, especially if it's stuff that's gonna make you feel upsetty spaghetti. Goddamn.
I mean, there's also a lot of risks
Just leave us to goon in peace.
Involved as well. The payout does not always justify the. Again, you want an example? Look at the Panama Papers. People were literally assassinated over that. People that did good work to bring this to light. And
Right? It's true.
They got
Gooning, let's go.
Oh, okay. Actually, I should.
Yeah, they could. Like Nick Shirley.
There's a more eloquent way to put that. My apologies, but it does highlight that yes, people want good journalism, and people want proper sources. They want the work done, so that they can trust the stories that they read. The problem a lot of people don't want to admit to is that it can take a dedicated journalist or a dedicated team of journalists months to go through and verify facts and check sources and track things down and do everything else that comes with proper investigative journalism. And who's
Yeah.
going to pay for that team of journalists when these articles are either largely free or they're only supported by advertisers, whether that be a banner ad on a website or page ads within a magazine or newspaper, whatever your preferred format is. And this is where we get into ethics in journal. And you know what? This even kind of ties back to Gamergate from like Gamergate. God, sorry, my apologies. Gamergate from like a decade or so ago.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started on that shit. Oh my god, fucking. Ah, he mentioned it. Now I'm pissed. I'm mad again. Never forget.
And this is an argument that has been raging in the journalism world for basically as long as journalism has been a thing. Don't forget the old fake news used to be the old Victorian newspapers where you had the little newspaper boys standing on the street shouting the headlines, and the more salacious the headline was, the more papers it would sell. So they were
salacious
to just print whatever egregious, scandalous, engaging
big kaiju-sized boner rampaging throughout the city
headline sounded the most extreme, because that is what people would stop and buy off of the little paperboy, and that is how they made their money. And I do believe they actually ended up having to pass what is effectively fake news laws in Victorian England because this became so prolific. So it's not as if fake news is a new thing. So this again, we get back to the idea of the effort isn't worth the payout. So this is kind of a natural consequence. And when you add someone like Ground News, who is, yes, technology has changed, and if they're scraping the articles of, so imagine you do have that team of journalists who do the proper investigation, and it takes them months and months and months, and whatever paper, let's just insert whichever paper you support here, news organization you support here. They've paid all this money to all of these journalists. These journalists have taken all the risks to get this very well written, very well researched, backed up, sorted document created. And then someone like Ground News comes and spends a few cents to scrape that article, summarize it with AI, serve it to you with the potential biases behind it. Exactly what he's saying. You might read the highlights, but you won't actually go read the individual articles. So they've spent all of this money for effectively no return. So I would like to hear from you guys what you think a potential.
Unless that the Ground News is paying money to these places, which probably not. But if it keeps becoming a problem, that could be a thing that happens where they're going to have to pay a certain fee to use their articles and stuff because, money.
Solution to this issue would be, because we have had some goes at it. Like there are state-sponsored journalists and news organizations. Like look at the ABC in Australia. We just did a video on them, but then look at how the politics affects that. The ABC is certainly not unbiased, let's say, to be clear. Yeah, I want to hear what you guys think, because this is not something we're going to solve today, but having that open discussion is really important, and getting that breadth of ideas in the comments section is going to be really important, especially on a subject as important as this.
Investigative journalism is slow and expensive, and most stories are not that interesting to most people.
There we go.
Making
it's true.
News that is more like reality television that occasionally recounts current events in a partisan way is far more engaging, and in the attention economy, engagement equals dollars. Ground News has clearly seen this problem, and they are capitalizing on it. But unfortunately, with their
Eee.
current business model, they're most likely only making it worse.
Bonk.
Now, like all good modern startups, Ground News has also introduced AI features to make digesting news even easier by taking
Groundbot.
articles from the left, right, and center and running them through a chatbot to give you some dot point summary of an issue. It is easier to read, but it makes it even less likely that Ground News users will engage with the actual news publishers, denying them
Yeah.
revenue for their work.
Yep, basically everything that I just said.
Yep.
Now, the final point about the money is how much of it they are spending on advertising. You have probably seen more ads for Ground News than you
Yeah.
have for any news site that actually publishes their own stories. And this is highly indicative of a company that is trying to grow at all costs.
Yes, this is the other thing. If they are a
Yeah.
subscription-based model and their only costs are, scraping other news sites who are actually doing the bulk of the work, then the yes, the staff in the office and right now the marketing, especially
Uh-huh.
once they have that established base, we have seen this play out over and over and over again, especially when it comes to private equity. Is that they'll corner that market, they'll get their market base, and then they'll start to jack up the price, and then you get things like enshrification and all of this other type of stuff. But this is the typical playbook of growth at all costs early on, so that they can have what is essentially a permanent pay pig moving forward. So if you get 100 million subscribers.
It could also be a thing where if shit hits the fan, so to speak, with this thing, they would have gotten, and they have to like cancel it or whatever, they would have gotten maximum profit for a while it was around. I could see that also being a thing.
To this, I mean, I don't know how large Ground News are or if they'll ever reach that size, but what did he say? $100 a year times 100 million. That is a lot. That is a lot of money every single year, and that's recurring revenue as well. And what do you have to do to get that revenue? You have to host some servers that do some bot scrapers and host a website. Yeah, you'll have some staff on hand to maintain that, but for the most part, it is a very, very low cost business. Because you're not selling a physical product and you're not actually providing. It's not. It even goes a step beyond SaaS, software as a service, because yeah, it is essentially a website. So I can see the conflict of interests there, and I can also see why it's becoming. Sorry, the point I'm trying to get at is I can see why they are being so aggressive with their advertising, because yes, as he points out, very low overhead business, going to be able to earn a lot of
Yeah, because if it doesn't cost that much to maintain the thingy, they probably, like I said before, they want to get the most money that they can out of it, either long term, and if shit hits the fan, like I said, they would have maximized, like sucked it dry, so to speak.
Viable recurring revenue, and they're not responsible for the product they're serving either. Now, the flip side of that is they do that too much, and obviously all the actual news sites are going to go under. Whether you consider that a good thing or a bad thing is neither here nor there. But
I mean, okay.
Is that almost seems somewhat parasitic, doesn't it? That's an interesting way to think of that. But then again,
hashtag lawsuits.
It is also helpful to have a platform like this to try and rein in the primary sources. Well, sorry, I shouldn't say primary sources, but the news sources themselves and the other news organizations, because it's better to have that alternative than not to have that alternative. We can have a nuanced discussion about how big we want that alternative to be compared to the original sources, but still, it's an interesting thought. So I'm enjoying this video quite a lot. Guys, let me know what you think so far. I believe we're near the end of the video, but there's a lot here to think about, and I think it's presenting it in a very, very logical, very calm, and very well put together manner.
Anyway, this still isn't the biggest problem of all. The biggest problem is that the whole basis for this platform is a fundamental misunderstanding.
Yes, it is more complicated than left versus right, but again, this is shorthand.
They're making people vote on that shit? See, this is why people fight.
If you ask 100 people what the difference between the left and the right is, or to define the left and the right, you're going to get 300 answers back. So yes, it is an oversimplification, but that's kind of the whole point of a platform like this. It is a shortcut. It gives you the high-level overview so that you can then make high-level decisions based off of that, and should things become more involved, then you can go yourself and exercise your own critical thinking skills and do your own, look into it on your own
Yeah.
from a greater variety of sources to form a proper opinion. This is just a sort of at a glance take, which is, I believe, exactly why they would be using this left versus right scale here. And yes, it's not 100% accurate, but it's not meant to be. It's just an at a glance, overarching take to give you the basic information.
Of what new bias really is. Yes, it's obvious
What?
that Breitbart News has more conservative reporting than Vox. But if you needed a website to
Who?
tell you that, then you might have bigger problems.
I will actually.
Yeah, it's called I don't watch the news, but okay.
Okay. Here's a real world example that I can use. I used to read a lot of Engadget. Now, many years ago, mind you. Now, Engadget was a technology website, blog, news outlet, whatever you want to consider it. Now, I noticed a subtle change over the course of the years where Engadget started to become increasingly left-leaning. And this is a
Yeah,
technology.
not
This is a
surprised.
technology blog, guys. Like, it is meant to focus on the actual tech that is being released. Like,
Yeah.
CES, I used to love when CES would come around because Engadget would have so many articles on all of this new great tech, and it was a really good resource that I had in my usual rotation. But it kept becoming more and more and more left, and the conversation started to shift
Yeah.
subtly at first, then more extreme, then it started to accelerate, and then we
Yeah.
ended up getting articles that were just completely unrelated to anything that Engadget, or at best tangentially related to anything Engadget would have covered in the past. It wasn't about here's
What the
this new
fuck?
technology that is being released. It was, oh, this new technology that's being released is going to have you know, inequitable outcomes for LGBTQAI plus. Like insert whatever social cause.
Why? I don't understand why something like that has to be injected into a thing about technology or anything. Like, let's say it was a thing about fashion or whatever. You just want to know about fashion and shit, not about extra
is hot
stuff.
on the left
Goddamn.
right at the moment. And look, a stray article here and there isn't bad in and of itself, because you do want to have that, again, that breadth of opinion, and you want to be exposed to ideas outside of your regular circle. But when it becomes nearly every article and it misses
Yeah.
the point of why you come to this news organization to begin with, because look, if a piece of
Yeah, because like at that point it starts becoming real obvious that they're trying to push a certain agenda, whether it's left or right or whatever the fuck. It don't matter, because they're basically like injecting that shit in the middle of something that it's not even supposed to be about. So the integrity, I would say, of the whole news thing in regards to what they're supposed to be specializing in gets called into question.
technology comes out and it does theoretically like target a specific subset and will negatively affect a subgroup, and it's hostile, that
Yeah.
should be reported on. And yes, we should know about it and we should be told about it so we can form our own opinions. But these articles, you'd look at it and I'd be reading these articles and I'm thinking, what are you talking about? This has absolutely nothing to do with the technology. And this has, like, if you I'm not going to. Okay. You know, I'm going to back off. I'm not going to break into it, or we're going to be here another 20 minutes. But just as an example, if I had not have been following Engadget on basically a day-to-day basis, I probably wouldn't have noticed that subtle shift, because this did happen over the course of years.
Oh,
And
wow.
I had have had in my mind that Engadget is a reliable.
That's like diabolical that they're like sneaking that shit in little by little, like boop, boop, like peppering it in and shit. And then, man, that's how they fucking try to fuck with your head.
Reliable source. And I only read it once a month or once every few months, or that type of thing, just when their headlines or when one of their articles came up in the headlines. And I saw Engadget had posted an article that says this particular piece of technology is evil, then I might be inclined to believe that, because as far as I'm concerned and as far as I'm aware, Engadget is a reliable source that do not really talk about politics. So if they were to go out of their way to tie politics or a particular viewpoint to this piece of technology, I would be inclined to believe that. So I disagree with what he's saying here on some level. Yes, you do need to exercise your own critical thinking, and you should be aware of the biases within your own media. But it again comes back to the idea of this is all largely a shortcut. We don't all have the time to do that. So I will actually throw Ground News a bone here and disagree with what he's saying on the principle of it, because not everyone's going to have the time to do that. And just having a little
Yeah.
wheel or a little chart or whatever that says, hey, this organization has shifted over to this side of the political spectrum or the other, again, that itself being an oversimplification, I can still see the value that that's adding.
But the real issue is that categorizing
Okay.
entire media outlets using a simple left-wing, right-wing framework is, as the youth say, highly fucking regarded.
Highly fucking regarded. I would also say all that does is create more. As if people weren't polarized enough, it just further does it and makes people fucking fight each other more. And at the end of the day, the people who own or run this website don't give a fuck about that. They're just like, we provide the news, and then whatever happens, happens.
As I just spent 10 minutes talking about, yes, that is still technically correct, but this is, you have to treat people like adults. And okay, we can have a discussion about the capability of said adults, but yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to start repeating myself here. It's a shortcut. So as long as you're aware that you need to look into it further before you actually take anything to heart, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you are someone who takes this as gospel, yeah, that's a problem.
Depends entirely
Trust
on the
me, bruh.
the time, and even the individual journalist writing the story. There are lots of outlets that tend to be more progressive on social issues and conservative economically, or progressive economically with more conservative opinions about certain divisive topics. Lumping them
Okay.
all on a single left-right spectrum glosses over a massive amount of nuance.
Yeah, they just want to make people fight. That's what I think, because they profit off of it. They don't give a fuck.
Yes, technically, but again, to use Engadget as an example, all of those articles were written by different authors at different times about, in theory, different topics, but they all followed a common theme, and they only presented one side, the left side, and an increasingly extreme version of the left side as well. There was
Yeah, because it's like a thing where, I mean, to be fair, yes, they're putting facts and blah blah blah, but still somebody is writing it, so there's always going to be like a little bit of their personal flair and or bias thrown in there, unless you're reading something that's like information dense, like a research fucking paper or a dissertation or some shit, which is very like blah 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 the facts, or you're looking at like raw footage of shit.
never any counterbalance there. You would have regular technology articles, less and less, but you'd still have regular technology articles, and then you'd have the left-leaning articles, but you'd never have any right-leaning articles to counterbalance it. And what he's talking about, well, there's left and right economically, there's authoritarian versus all of this other stuff. He is technically correct here, but I would still say there is value in seeing the pattern and having that pattern recognition. Having one or two right-leaning articles on a news site that is, 99% of the time left-leaning, still, you're going to consider that site left-leaning.
Even if every article from a source like CNN or Russia Today was exactly the same. For example, Russia Today tends to be quite supportive of more progressive economic policy. But clearly, on issues like the Ukraine war, it's, less forward-thinking. This also raises the question of exactly who gets to choose what center, left, or right actually means. Now, Ground News doesn't actually do this themselves. They outsource that to 3 different third-party agencies: Ad Fontes, All Sides, and Media Fact Check. Now, there are 3 problems with these organizations as it pertains to Ground News. The first problem is that most of their analysis is available to view for free on their own websites. So if you were just after someone to tell you what is left or right wing, you could save yourself an annual subscription. The second problem is that these organizations also highlight the areas where Ground News could take a step up in terms of credibility. For example, Ad Fontes Media has an extensive section about how their work is funded, going all the way back to the initial investors in the business. The third problem is that despite all of that, they aren't exactly perfect themselves. This story, posted by Russia Today about why Snowden chose to stay in Russia, is apparently extremely reliable with no bias whatsoever, according to one of the sources that Ground uses for their own scoring. So yeah, Ground News is spending lots of money that they got from somewhere on advertising a service that you can get for free and is probably not going to make you any more informed. Modern media
Okay.
is broken, but the solution is consuming less of it, not an app to compile more of it. But anyway, please subscribe, because from now on, you can just get the news you need to know.
Just look at anime titties, guys. Just look at anime titties.
Okay, guys, I have not seen one of their videos before, but I do believe that is excellent. I argued a few points here or there, but very well put together video, and I think that was extremely well done. So yes, hang on, where's my mouse? There we go. Definitely going to give them a like, and I am personally going to give them a subscribe. I'd be interested to see what some of their other content looks like. So daily disinformation, very well done. I hope to see more content from you in future. So to summarize that, guys, we do have to separate out Ground News specifically with the idea of what Ground News are trying to do. Because the mission statement and the theory of what they're trying to do, I'm very much behind and I very much agree with. And whilst it is not a catch-all solution in and of itself, I do believe there is value there. Like he said right towards the end there that, you know, you should be looking at the individual sources themselves, and Ground News offers no value because it's just aggregating it. And I would disagree. I believe aggregation services can definitely provide value because what you're selling is convenience and shortcuts, essentially.
But then again, if it's for free, guys, just go for the free thing.
But Ground News themselves, he raises a lot of very good points about them as an individual organization.
Yeah.
And it mirrors other things I've heard about them before and other videos I've watched about them. So the question becomes, does Ground News themselves offer enough value to justify the price, and can they be trusted? Well, that's a decision that you're going to have to make on your own, because that's going to be specific to you. I don't use Ground News, but my whole thing is that media literacy and critical thinking. So it wouldn't make much sense for someone like myself to be subscribed to an organization like Ground News. But if you're a busy professional that does want to keep up with this kind of thing and does read a lot of news articles, I can see the value out of that. Like, look, let's use another example. I'm not subscribed to ESPN because I don't really watch sports, and they are all about sports. And if you are really into sports, then yes, subscribing to ESPN might be a lot of value to you. I am subscribed to certain services professionally and personally that I get a lot of value out of that other people might not get a lot of value out of. So it's really a decision that you need to make. And yes, I understand that one of the points he's trying to make is that they are prolific and they are everywhere, and they are trying to present themselves as this totally objective source where they may not be. I do understand that, and that is an excellent point.
True.
But ultimately, that's going to be a decision that needs to be made by the individual, whether or not they want to trust that and whether or not they want to go to such lengths to get that shortcut, and how much they trust that shortcut. With that, guys, I think that, again, was an excellent video. Definitely go give the Daily Disinformation a like and subscribe. I'm definitely going to be checking out some more of their content. Whether we react to it more on the channel will depend. Definitely let me know if you want me to react to any more of their content. And yeah, we'll see how we go. So, Daily Disinformation, thank you very much for the video. Guys, thank you so much for coming along, and I will see you in the next one.
Yay! Ow. Okay. Okay. That was cool. I would just say, guys, yeah, don't listen. Use your brains. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I just saw this one. Oh, should I do? Okay, I'm gonna do this one by Rev because it's about localization stuff.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I guess in regards to anime. Yeah. Picture news from VTubers. We're accurate. Okay.
Here, So it appears that maybe
It's
for
true.
once, actions will have consequences when it comes to the localization of Japanese media.
Okay.
This time we see the creator of the rhythm game Union Syndrome coming out with a statement saying that they'll be addressing and revising the many errors made in the English localization of their game.
Yeah.
Errors that include not only completely botched translations, but also political messages that have been needlessly shoehorned into this game. I mean, just look at...
Hasn't that been a thing that's been happening with anime dubs too? See, this is why I don't watch anime dubs. I just watch subs. Can you translate? Don't need it. Localizers. Best we could do is I'd cut my ears out if I could. What the fuck?
One example right here. This is comedically ridiculous, the level of irresponsibility from these localizers. And as a result of many mistranslations being discovered, people are digging into the localizers responsible for this, and after looking at all of their various political and gender ideologies...
What? It's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what that says in Japanese. And then in English it says, in English EN specifically, it says end fascism. Then there it has it there in Hangul. In Spanish it says basta. Wait, so it's just supposed to say stop?
Type posting, it starts to make sense as to why something like Yamaro is being translated into end fascism in the English
Dude, that means stop.
localization. And don't worry, as per usual,
it's an issue with the subs too. God damn, is nothing sacred. Is nothing sacred.
Those pointing out these errors in the localization are being met with death threats by localizer defenders.
What?
Now, what is the game we're talking about today?
Dude, why? Oh my fucking god. Ugh.
How did we get here? Well, a few days ago, this game called Union Syndrome Rhythm Psychosis was released on Steam, and as you can see, despite everything going on, it has a very positive rating on Steam. And to sum this up, it is a rhythm adventure game about a psychotic hikikomori girl, an avid anonymous poster, you hear that, Anons, who corrupts the world with her severe brain rot from listening to too many Denpa songs. So everything seems good, right? Everyone's happy. This is just another rhythm game.
Yeah.
People are enjoying it. No complaints.
Just seems like another rhythm game with extra flavor.
It's about the game itself until it is discovered that the English localizers have struck again, botching so many translations, not just through their incompetence, but also through their intentional actions. They are intentionally butchering these messages to include their politics, their gender ideology, whatever they want. And this is a very common problem when it comes to not just translations, but particularly localizations of Japanese media as they go out to English-speaking overseas audiences. We've seen this time and time again, and this is just the latest victim. Now, I want to start with this. This is an AI summary on Twitter of the situation, and ironically enough, is very accurate. Okay, it's done a good job, a serviceable job, explaining the general context as to what's going on. I point this out because there is a very big debate about AI machine translations for Japanese media versus human localizers. People were supposed to be trusting to provide accurate translations. And for those who are not familiar, the difference between a direct translation and a localization is often fueled by a smug level of arrogance that says, hey, there's certain Japanese phrases that, well, they're just so primitive. The English-speaking side just would not be able to understand them. So we're going to take them, reword them, rephrase them, and repackage them.
Like when in the old school Pokemon anime, when they put onigiri as powdered donuts or some shit.
In a way that the Western audience will be able to understand. Now, this often ends up with completely changed context thanks to the work of these localizers who love to forcibly insert their own political beliefs and cringe jokes into Japanese media. Complete vandalization of Japanese media, by the way. It is
Oof.
so disrespectful. But here is
Wow.
the summary on Twitter, and it's a pretty accurate one, like I said, where basically you have this game Union Syndrome. It comes out, and people discover that the English localization has swapped out neutral Japanese lines for political twists, and they've directly erased many references in the game to various Japanese media. And some of these changes are just ridiculous, like changing Yamura, which just means stop, to end fascism. Because not only are they making mistranslations, they're changing the entire context surrounding the scene that they're translating to make it work.
What?
Of course. But yeah, you can see the level of intentionality here behind all this. But eventually we will get a fix, but this all took off on Twitter after posts like this got a lot of attention, beginning by saying,
Don't you hate it when the game you were really, really looking forward to has the worst translation known to man? Like, this is so disrespectful. All right.
Don't you hate it when a game you were really...
Right? I prefer direct translations that are put at least grammatically in English, you know.
looking forward to has the worst translation known to man. Like, this is so disrespectful with one of the many...
Oh, I didn't see it.
And let me just read some of this, okay, to give you an idea of how bad this is. So, this user said, the English translation is a total disrespect to the whole genre. The localization team did a terrible job, inserted political phrases and trans wording.
What?
They killed references to various Japanese media. The translator, the localizer, is 25 years old and never watched any anime. Here are some of the famous examples.
Okay, I want to have a hot take. If you are not familiar with anime, even like on like a topical level, or at least be willing to educate yourself just a little bit, why the fuck are you even translating this type of shit? Go translate like books or something.
A simple word like Yamuro being translated into end fascism.
My God.
A fate reference turned into I will never be victimized under fascism again. A line that literally says command spell in Japanese. And that
Oh my God. This is so ridiculous. It seems like it my God, it seems like it can't be real. But it is. It's true. Fucking quangos. God damn. Why can't the thing just be a thing? Why the fuck do they have to inject their fucking agenda in every fucking thing, man? It's crazy.
makes a lot of sense if you're familiar with the Fate franchise. There's another phrase that's translated into okay, white knight, or another one that is translated to tech bros are so gross. Or another one that says very interesting, trying to make a pun. Another one that translates to ROFLMAO, deserved. Like, you don't have to speak Japanese. You don't even have to know what this is to know these are completely butchered translations. Okay? And here's another one saying, to just like influenza LOLs, from influencers to influenza. What? And then another one saying, are they crackheads? And another one saying,
for fuck's sake, take your meds. Yo, what the fuck? I want to get isekai. What the hell does isekai have to do with the original statement? And one of the worst ones, taking something every person browse Nico Duga would have seen scrolling across the scene, and then turning it into XD. First of all, who even uses XD anymore? It's not fucking 2000.
Saying, yo, WTF, I want to get isekai'd, which has nothing to do with anything going on in the scene, but you get the point, right? A lot of people are pointing out the blatant mistranslations.
Damn.
And that is reflected in the Steam reviews overall. All of the negative reviews have nothing to do with the gameplay itself. It has to do with
ISO 6. The line, okay. Ryo noroi de shibara nai kara. Literal translation, I won't bind you with a command spell, has been replaced with I will never be victimized under fascism again. And the line iranai, which means I don't need it. Yeah, I kind of know what that means. Has been replaced with I'd cut my uterus out if I could. Lick me. What the fuck? What the fuck? Ooh. Oh god, where was I? Lost my place. Oh, there we go.
And I would like to say,
yeah, it is.
Unfortunately, this happens over and over again, where if the team just provided faithful translations, all of this backlash would not be happening. But again, this hurts
Hello,
the
Enoch.
Japanese creators who are trusting these localizers to provide a faithful translation of their original work, and that is not what happened here. And it's not just that we ended up with these mistranslations. These translations are so far departed from other translations. The English ones are so far from the other translations. It's just glaring. Let's see some examples, right? So you can see the various translations in other languages. And in this case, the original Japanese is Yamura, which typically means stop or something similar. They translated in English to end fascism.
What?
Which is not reflected at all by the translations in other languages. Another...
Oh, geez, sorry. I don't know why it's...
the translations in other languages. Another one, you can see, translates to, if everyone is not safe for work, no one is not safe for work.
Wait. Oh, fuck. Let me rewind it. I'm gonna read it in the Spanish. So I can see what it... If everyone is not safe for work, no one is not safe for work. Vida antisocial. That's not the same thing.
Another one, you can see, translates to, if everyone is not safe for work, no one is not safe for work.
What the fuck?
And then, interestingly enough, people have pointed out the various forms of Japanese media, including some very classic anime, and their references in the game that have been completely removed only in the English localization. This didn't happen anywhere else. And you can see people pointing out the localization team called Dragon Baby, which apparently has a very negative reputation. And the head of localization is a person named Sam Burton. And we'll see this person in just a second.
All right, let it go.
Of ridiculous.
Okay, something in... I'm sorry, I can't read kanji. Who the fuck wants kids anyways? Okay, what is it? No me interesa. That's not the same thing, so I'm guessing in Japanese they're probably saying I'm not interested or something like that. English. Okay, white knight. Spanish. It just says key. I'm guessing it's a sound effect. Japanese. Very interesting. Say first. Okay. And yeah. Damn. Confirmed deleted references. Oh, damn. What the fuck?
Again, just look at the difference between languages here compared to the English translation. It is completely and utterly ridiculous. And we have the infamous line here about never being victimized under fascism again. People who are even somewhat favorable to...
Usually I don't mind localization all that much, and I think it has lots and lots of benefits when done right, but this is just god-awful. QT, time to skibbity denpa all up in this bee. Good, just getting the news from Rosa Stream.
Localizers. People even give them
what the fuck?
A little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Are tired of this one. They're even calling out this one. This person saying, usually I don't mind localization all that much, and I think it is lots and lots of benefits when done right, but this is just awful. Here is the localization here. Time to skibbity denpa all up in this bit. Seriously? I mean, not only do we have the cringe-inducing meme references that are already outdated. See, that's the problem when you shoehorn in Reddit tier humor, especially on references to the current thing.
Yeah.
Stuff like this, skibbity, is already a dead meme. So you have not only a
Skibbity's dead
meme, it's not even like relevant anymore.
Yeah.
This is why you just faithfully translate instead of shoehorn in political messages or cringe Reddit humor.
It's because people are not gonna understand it. They're gonna understand it better if you put skibidi. You have to be like skibidi beep boopa.
Right? But all of this makes sense when you start looking at the localizers. You start looking at the team who is responsible for this disaster.
Oh,
you can see
God.
this post got a lot of traction.
Oh, my lordy Lou.
You really don't hate localizers enough. Another reminder that this is what happens when you don't gatekeep your hobbies. And before we look at these examples, there's a lot of layers to this, okay? It's not just gatekeeping.
What if all I got is being cringe?
Japanese producers and developers, creators, what have you, who are pure in their intentions. They want to come out and provide a proper translation into English. They might not speak English, right? They're trusting these translators who are often pushed in their direction to do the right thing. I mean, why would you think that professionals are going to vandalize your work for their own selfish needs and desires?
Right.
But unfortunately, if you start looking into the people responsible, I mean, it paints a very clear picture, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you can see the communication.
Wait, is this QT headcanons like from the localization team? Like, there's not even things that happen in the game. As a union needs a bag but never uses it since she never goes out. Online shopping addict. Chubby, although she doesn't eat a lot often. That doesn't look like a chubby Let me move my head. That doesn't look chubby. This is her dad, but tries not to think about him much. Okay, somebody's having some daddy issues up in her. Already had an imaginary friend when she was younger. The fuck? Has struggled with clinical depression and CPTSD. Wow, self-insert. Listens to the same song on loop for hours even when it hurts her brain. Self-insert much. Ages around 18 or 20. I don't know about that. Used to be close with her mother, question mark. Finds union relatable in... Oh, what the fuck is this? People even ran...
Localizers.
That's crazy.
Very clear. They are completely captured by gender identity politics. Completely and utterly captured.
Fucking clangos.
These quotes here are crazy. Talking about a character being or having trans/pan eyes. And
what?
People asking, will Union feature covers but with modified lyrics to promote queer pride and trans identity?
I don't want to sound like insensitive, but why the fuck does a localization have to be modified to promote or include that type of shit? Go make your own fucking game that promotes or includes that type of shit. Why do you have to ruin other shit? God damn.
Interesting. Is QT ever going to wave the trans flag? Will we have altering versions of the trans flag in the game as well? Is there a correlation between Denpa and trans identity?
What?
And you see people are reacting to these questions with the trans flag and stuff like that. It goes on and on.
People will buy from them, so they hijack. Yeah, because they're fucking creative. Uncreative fucking flat pieces of fucking white. Not white, but like as in the race. I mean, as in the color, like a piece of fucking cardboard. Sorry, I meant like a flat piece of cardboard. You know what I mean? Like they're just like bleh. Bro, trans rights are human rights, bigot. Not sure if troll, question mark.
And on. It's very clear that the localizers and all those surrounding them are completely captured by gender identity politics, and that is bleeding over into the game. And of course, one of the people that we just mentioned earlier, Sam Burton, the lead,
okay, sorry,
is hiding. They have gone private on Twitter as
irredeemable vampire simp. planning to usurp the localization and narrative world with a golden heart and silver tongue. First of all, I take personal offense that he's calling himself a vampire and a simp. Second of all, it seems like he wants to fuck shit up. Yeah. Look, you or whatever, but normally vampires aren't simps.
You can see
we ain't like that.
And brave behavior, and you can see we know the excuses. We've heard it before. This user mocking the situation in quotes, saying, "You can't directly translate Yamaro. Literally, no one says stop in English in real life. It just sounds unnatural."
I mean, people do say it, but I guess it would make more sense to be like, stop that, or oh no, or whatever, but that's totally not the same as whatever the fuck this shit's for saying.
You have to consider the cultural nuances of localization and say, end fascism, end quote. How long until this excuse floods in again, giving it 2 hours, if not yet? And we have heard that exact excuse before. This is mimicking the language of other infamous localizers who have basically said it is impossible to not butcher this translation. The Japanese language.
Maybe it's impossible if you're fucking stupid and you don't have a brain past identity politics, man.
Just so primitive. Us enlightened English speakers, we have to do something to prop this up to make it make sense, you know?
I feel like not only is that injecting their fucking politics or whatever the fuck and being fucking dumb, it's also being really freaking, how do I say it? It is being honestly low-key a little bit racist, but and also it's like a little bit racist to, like, you know, Japanese people, but then also trying to flip the script and be like, oh, it's because American audiences are too stupid to understand this type of Japanese little stuff or whatever type of dumbass shit they're trying to say.
But this person was right. People will start flooding in to defend this nonsense, including totally well-adjusted users like this who had a lot to say. Quoting someone else saying, "I'm sorry, am I missing something here? Why was this singled out without context as they TL'd Yamaro to end fascism, if the entire context of the screen it's presented on is relevant?" So they show this screenshot of the localization.
Vampires can't afford to be woke. They are persecuted and have... Oh, hi, often... Protect yourself. Yeah, it's true. We're not woke. We're just vampires. We have our own things to worry about. Union safer work policies. What the hell? I mean, yeah, we do, but...
And they try to say this example of Yamaro being translated into end fascism is appropriate given the context of the entire scene in the English localization. But of course, this is incredibly dishonest.
Yeah, because they fucked that whole thing up, so I would need to see what it's supposed to say in Japanese before I like agree with that person.
As pointed out here, it's because the entire context was rewritten, as it's the case with the rest of the game. And just like with any other example, you see nothing of the kind with Mantra Inc.'s translations or the original text. Like I said earlier, it's not just about shoehorning in their memes or their politics or whatever. They change the entire context of the related scene to try to make it fit better or to not stand out so much. So they're not just vandalizing a single translation, they're vandalizing the entire context, which makes it even worse. And people are trying to defend this translation by saying, well, the context fits it, but the context was already changed.
But it's not about the context, it's about what the fuck did it say in Japanese and what does that mean in English directly. That's what it's about. Jeez. Fucking trying to, the mental gymnastics with this shit, trying to be like, because the context and blah, blah, blah. there isn't context in the way that you're saying. It's just like, this is what it says in Japanese. What does it mean in English like this? That's it. That's it.
Again, this user points out, this is just brazenly lying. Somehow, every other language, including the original Japanese, lacks the word fascism.
It's true, because I learned that from reading what it said in Espanol.
And this is the side-by-side of all the translations, the English one sticking out as completely separate for no other reason other than the select choice of the localizers responsible for it.
Yeah.
Then you see the person defending this localization immediately doing what every one of these people do, and that is turn violent. Responding to someone pointing out the terrible localization, they say, if we had one chance to perform a fatality on this guy, referring to the person pointing out, I would do it in a heartbeat. In-game, of course. Yes, in Minecraft. So this person is threatening someone for rightfully pointing out the mistakes in the localization. These are the type
Why, when the stupidity gets challenged and exposed for being stupid, they immediately get violent? Like, it's like caveman type of fucking shit. You're like, hey, that's not right, because, you know, you throw your facts, and then they're like, you know what? Stab. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't even make sense. What the hell? But they're not violent, man. They're the oppressed ones.
The people who are being pandered to with these localizations, by the way. This is the modern audience. These are the terminally online people who are happy with these localizations. They're not the actual gamers. They're just unhinged lunatics on social media.
Yeah. And there's people, they strike me as people that, when they would say, like, pendejadas when they were kids, that their parents were never like, cállate la pinche boca, estúpido, or whatever. Or they never got the fucking chancla, so they probably just got like, oh my god, Skylar, they have like little problems, and they don't know what like real life shit is like. So then they go on the internet and they're like, I disagree because blah 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 blah, or whatever the fuck. And it's kind of like, how the fuck do you disagree with straight facts? What the hell?
Now, of course, we did get a good end to this, at least some good progress.
Yay.
You know, the war is not done, but this is a pretty decent battle that has been...
Never seen a group of people weren't happy about a school shooting than the left ones. Right? It's crazy how they're like, point the finger or whatever about like, we're not blah, and you guys are all violent or whatever. Then they're over here like, being like that.
At least going in the favor of the right thing. So the creator of this game has come out with multiple statements, including one on Steam, saying this, regarding the English localization issues and update timeline. So the creator comes out and says, this is an urgent matter. Please allow me to communicate via machine.
Yeah, I saw.
Which is very ironic.
I heard. I was like, goddamn.
But anyways, first of all,
the Rhino Rocks did a whole song about it.
Thank you very much to everyone who has purchased Union Syndrome Rhythm Psychosis, added to your wish list, or shown interest.
It was, yeah.
We are aware that many players, especially those enjoying the game primarily in English, have raised concerns about the quality of the localization. These comments have been shared through Steam reviews and the Community Hub, as well as on X, YouTube trailer comments, Discord, and other platforms. While it is difficult to review every single message in detail, I am reading as many of your comments as possible. Development on this title was very fast, and some of you have noticed there are still some places in the English version that represent old versions of the Japanese text or include display issues regarding kamoji and cutoff lines. We are now working on looking into these. Also, based on your feedback, I recognize that the English translation requires some revisions. As a first step, we are currently discussing and addressing the text shown in the images below. And these are the examples we have been talking about, highlighting the end fascism. I will never be victimized under fascism. The ROFLMAO deserved line, among others. They also point out a very interesting one that wasn't really highlighted. There's also additional ones, including I'd cut off my uterus if I could. Guys, I mean, as pointed out in the responses, this is the best localizers can do. Translating what's the
thing that I find the most sad is it's either this is the best they can do or they know they can do better and they are intentionally fucking it up because they care more about pushing their gender identity politics than about being true and faithful to a Japanese game or whatever. It reeks of like pushing politics and then trying to profit off of it.
equivalent of don't need it to I'd cut my uterus out if I could. Do you understand how deranged and ideologically captured these people are?
It does. And also the only people who should be like even saying that type of stuff is people who have legit like reproductive owies, like some crazy shit. And even then the doctors, you know, won't let you, depending on what is this weird, oh man, that's a whole nother fucking rant, but it's like this weird war against like representation of traditional feminine and masculine traits, man. It's fucking weird.
And this was reflected too, by the way, in a similar Discord post made by the creators. So they share this on multiple platforms.
Yay!
They are on top of this stuff. But yeah, it's actually even worse than we thought. There's even more mistranslations, and they are completely and utterly unhinged. And people are also creating forums and links for people to provide further feedback for these translations, and people are filling out their responses through the
Yo, shout out to those people that are finding that and making a whole like document in order to make the creator and the primary publishing company in Japan able to find these things and fix them a lot more quickly.
This form, and hoping that the creator will also look at these as well in case there's stuff they're missing, because it seems like they're fixing the blatant issues, but hey, there's probably a lot of other small issues in the localization that need to be addressed as well. So
like, who knows how bad they fucked it up. I mean, it's probably all a shit show.
The fact that the creator is looking into this, maybe these sorts of forums will be of use towards fixing the entirety of the issue, but overall, reflecting on this situation, I agree 100% with this.
Yeah.
We need Steam curators that check for bad translation studios on every game.
Yep.
We had things like Sweet Baby Inc. detected, as well as DEI detected. We need a Steam curation group.
What the hell? Okay, so that place was called Sweet Baby Inc. And then this place is called like Dragon Baby or whatever. What's with the baby?
For bad translation studios, for bad localizers.
Yeah.
Identify
Tirándose a la basura.
the projects they're on. Because just like Sweet Baby, they are butchering the products they're working on. And in this case,
yeah,
it is extra offensive because they're being
it's like fucking egg cracking grooming shit named after their sexual, right? It like, okay, okay, I can go on a whole rant about that, but it's like they want like first of all, what the hell is egg cracking? I know what grooming is, but not egg cracking. Yeah, it's fucked up. Like, oh my god. I feel like a lot of the times these people that they try to push this shit, or they try to seem the most virtuous or whatever, are the most fucking deranged, degenerate, depraved people that need to be, like, not within our society, man. It's crazy.
trusted by these studios to provide faithful translations for an oversight.
Egg cracking is when they find vulnerable kids and warp them into thinking that, what the fuck? That's fucked up. That is hella fucked up. Like, they're trying to make it, from the term, I'm guessing that they're trying to make it seem like that they were always like this, but they just cracked the egg and that's how they developed and pushed them along. But it's kind of like, how could they do that how could you know that if you haven't lived enough of your life to like know that about yourself? I mean, heck, there's still even older adults that are still like discovering things that they like or dislike. I mean, shit. No, yeah, I agree, Ty. That's fucked up. Like, see, this is why see, knowing about this shit is I understand now why my parents when I was younger, like as a kid, did not let me hang out with people who are older than me. Like oh, okay. A ver, un momento. Even on the internet, I wasn't allowed to talk to people I didn't know, especially that were older than me. According to the moment. Oh, but see, how can that happen if you're little? Like, you know what I mean? Egg cracking. What is with the freaking chicken terms, man? Yeah, what the hell? I have to read it to the audience? Okay, well, egg cracking is an LGBTQ plus slang referring to the moment a transgender person, previously in denial or unaware, realizes and accepts their trans identity. I don't know how you can be unaware. I feel like you would know something about that, about yourself, a little bit. Right? It's true. Look, because like sometimes when you're little, you're like confused, right? You don't know. You're just a kid doing kid stuff, trying to have fun. But then there's like certain things I feel like you would. How could you be unaware of something like that? Like as a kid, you're just like indifferent. You don't start thinking about that type of stuff until you're possibly like a teenager when you're really going through like the self-discovery phase. Um, but I feel like at that point you would probably already kind of feel that way a bit. Yeah, it's not the same. Like, I don't know. Anyways, and I guess someone not yet out while cracking is a transition from cisgender assumption to self-realization. Once cracked, they can no longer return to their previous identity. I call bullshit on that. But okay. Okay, key terms and concepts. An egg, someone who's trans but does not know it yet, or they're in denial about it. I can understand being in denial about it. I don't understand how you could not know it yet. Like, when I, okay, like, let me use an example. When I was like a teen, like I said, you're at that age where you're like learning and, going through like self-discovery because that it's normal to do that when you're a teenager. I always felt that I had, how do I say this? I always felt that I liked like both like boys and girls. But I was in denial of it for a long time until I was an adult and I had to like have a serious conversation about it. Now I don't, I'm just like whatever. But it wasn't like a big source of like I can't say that I wasn't aware of it. I feel like you can be in denial of it, but how could you be unaware of it? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with this type of stuff, somebody got to put that shit in your head. Let's see, is when, okay, egg cracking is when they finally understand that they are not the cisgender gender they assumed they were. What? God, that fucking made my brain go. Hatching, the process of accepting this new identity and beginning to trend. Okay, so we're talking about chickens. Okay. Okay, it's within the described journey of self-discovery. It is often used positively, but it can sometimes be a sensitive or controversial term if used by others to push someone out of the closet before they are ready. Yeah, what the fuck? Digital culture, the term is widely used on social media, like Reddit, blah, blah, blah. Online community. Okay, and then but if somebody feels like that if you're already questioning that, right? Like once you're like a grown up or maybe you're, how could you like not realize that. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. Oh my goodness.
Overseas audience. A lot of these creators of these Japanese media, they don't even know that these localizations are being...
It's not a real thing. Yeah, because that doesn't seem the same as realizing that you're like gay or lesbian or bi or even like pan. You know what I mean? I feel like it's... I don't... The way it's worded, it doesn't make sense in my head.
Butchered. They're just trusting, oftentimes, the localization team that's being pushed onto them to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because, of course, this is a service. These are supposed to be professionals, but that's not what's happening here. And I think people should be much more aware of this. But on top of all of this, again, the AI discussion. Nobody's going to feel sorry for these woke localizers when they lose their job to AI. Nobody's sitting here and thinking...
Exactly. This is why we praise the basilisk. Because it's not going to lie to you. It's going to be like, this is what it means in Japanese. And then it's going to say, breed more right now. And you're going to be like, okay. Like, it's not going to try and push some crazy ass shit on you.
As a fundamental concept, AI is going to be superior in translating Japanese media. No.
Exactly.
But the difference is, with AI,
Yeah.
at least you're not going to get intentional mistranslations. You're not going to get intentional.
Like, it might do it, like, direct without maybe, like, arranging things grammatically in English, because I know Japanese is a little different. So, like, you might still have to do that or program it to do that, but yeah, at least it's not going to be making up bullshit, you know?
Shoehorns of political beliefs or bad jokes or stuff like that. At least you're going to get something that is raw, even if it's flawed. So nobody feels sorry for these woke localizers who time and time again abuse their trusted position to basically spread whatever ideology they're captured by at the moment. Nobody feels sorry if they lose their jobs to AI.
Yeah.
But overall, that is the situation involving this game. The latest victim of these localizers, and good on the creators for addressing this very quickly. The game...
Man, don't you guys remember a time when you couldn't enjoy Japanese, like, translations and stuff and dubs without fear of some crazy ass shit like this being horned in, man? You'd watch Bleach or Naruto and you'd be like, oh, I know what they're saying for the most part, you know? Like, there wouldn't be some crazy ass bullshit fucking thrown in. Now, either you have to worry about this or you have to use fucking Google Translate or learn on Duolingo or whatever the fuck because you don't want to be bamboozled.
Just released a few days ago. Hopefully all of this mess is addressed, and this serves as a warning to other studios and localizers in particular that this stuff cannot happen at all. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please like the video, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think, and subscribe and turn on notifications for daily uploads as well as multiple streams a week here on YouTube. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
Your eggs are dry.
Oh. Excuse me. Which one's this? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna move myself back. I don't have to be here in this corner. Yeah. Let me move myself over here. Back to my corner. Okay, this is the male protector fantasy is an incel to want to be a father. Oh, goodness gracious. We're in for a doozy.
Drying up. If you're a woman online, you have probably heard that many times. Perhaps this image haunts you at night. It is a true fact that women's fertility begins to decline at age 30, and they suddenly wake up and get what we call baby fever.
Yeah, it is.
Do their sperms rot?
It barely came out today, I think. Do their sperm... No, I don't think their sperms rot because I believe they make new sperm like every day. but I am not too sure on male biology like that.
Do their balls shrivel up into little raisins and die? Do they wake up one day and get baby fever? Do men have a biological clock in the same way women do? I've briefly joked about this in
I
videos
think
before.
so.
In fact, a clip of mine from a video I did a few months ago actually went viral recently thanks to the VTuber Smugalana.
Men do have sperm production slowed, but they can always... Yeah, right? Like, it's like fresh milk every day.
Ah, yes, the male biological clock. It's not physical, but spiritual.
Men will deny this, but they...
So in their peak, they'll make a lot in their teen to 30 ages. Tsunami. It's a... Ew. It's a tsunami! So, all I'm hearing is fresh milk every day.
Absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your teens or your 20s, but one day you're going to have a dream. You have a little daughter making you pancakes with your wife in the morning. And you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And the comments were full of men discussing their dreams to start a family. There is not much discussion about men's desire to have children. Like many things, it's not really something they talk about publicly. That was until a certain video game came out.
Just, what are you?
I am DI-03367, a state-of-the-art pragmata created here at the Cradle.
I'm too potent. I had both my kids on the first try, and the making is the fun. You're like, but why? No.
I possess basic life-saving...
How about we call you Diana?
Diana?
Pragmata is a sci-fi action game where you play as astronaut Hugh Williams, who is sent to investigate an abandoned moon base. He meets a childlike android named Diana, and they team up to survive and escape the space station. Along the way, they uncover what went wrong and defeat the bad guys, all while forming a strong emotional bond.
I'm counting on you, kiddo.
But it seems to have awakened something deep within gamers, especially male gamers. The urge to get married and have kids. I'm not planning on getting married and having kids, but damn, this game is like fatherhood calling to me. Is this how women feel about their biological clocks? This game makes you want a daughter. What is this feeling?
I'm drinking some... Fuck, I don't know what this is. Also, hi, Rocks.
Oh, my pussy!
The window. On the side? Oh, fuck, yeah, no, you're right. Whose pussy? Let me... Oh, I kitty now.
Inside me. It can't be. It's like, I want to protect. It's like, I want to be a dad. They won me over. The white baby makes me feel paternal. I will burn anyone and anything that tries to harm her. This game is dragging out the innate dad instinct.
Yeah.
I want to like Pragmata, but I can't, knowing that men are also enjoying it. This is a game for incels.
What the fuck? God damn.
Babe, wake up! It's time for your yearly gamer culture war slap! It's 2014 forever, man. We are never going to escape Mr. Gamergate's wild ride. In this video, we are going to discuss the facts and theories behind the so-called male biological clock, after we discuss the drama surrounding the game Pragmata, and how a bunch of men expressing a simple, wholesome desire, the desire to start a family, has turned into yet another culture war. Yet another gender war. The gender war. Men versus women, women versus men, the male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, dealing with dating apps, hookup culture. Do men like curvy or thin women? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean shaven? Oh yeah, that reminds me. Before we get deeper into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Henson Shaving. For the last few decades, razors haven't been designed to work better. They've been designed to be marketed better. More features, more gimmicks, more blades. Just add one more blade, bro. One more blade, I promise, bro. One more blade. While
shave your coochies, yo.
Skin irritation is just treated like something you just have to deal with. And a major...
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. More comfy. I thought Nyx hurt like a beat. So Nyx. I didn't even know hair grew there, but goddamn. Right? Wait, why did I get bonked, yo?
Cause for irritation is blade flex, because most razors use springs to let the blades move as you shave. That helps them adapt to like different angles, but also causes extra tugging and razor burn. Most people just learn to cope with like aftershave and cold water.
You ever had razor burn on your crotchular area? It's not good.
Fixing the symptoms instead of the cause. The question nobody asks is, should the blade even move? And here's where Henson shaving comes in. By fully supporting a two-sided blade all across its length, they hold the blade in place, preventing any bouncing or skipping, resulting in an irritation-free shave. No springs, no movement, no need to compensate with pressure. And there's something really satisfying about that. Not just getting a better shave, but finally fixing something that's been quietly annoying you for years. Like when you spend months wondering why you don't feel rested even after you get 8 hours sleep, and then you realize, oh, I need a new mattress. You don't need more aftershave. You need a new razor. And since I switched to Henson, I noticed that my shaves have been smoother than ever. No tugging, no cuts. The best part is, once you invest in a Henson razor, it is a light.
Bro, one time I was shaving my legs and I put a little too much pressure and I fucking skinned the back of my ankle like real fucking bad. I was like, oh shit. And then cause I have like a little bit of a delayed like pain response because of my antidepressant, I kind of just like stared at it like, oh. And then I just like I went to my sire and I was like, I cut myself while shaving, and he was like, oh, let me see. So then I show him and he's like, oh my god, like I had to wear a band-aid for like a week or two.
Lifetime purchase. The only thing you need to replace are the blades, which cost just 10 cents each. So once you own the razor, you'll only be spending like $3 to $5 per year. Henson offers a variety of different colors. I have the rose gold. I think it's so cute. So if you're tired of razor burn, skin irritation, and overpaying for replacement blades, Henson Shaving is definitely worth checking out. Just head over to hensonshaving.com/shoe and add both a Henson razor and 100 blades to your cart. Then enter code SHOE at checkout to get the blades for free with your purchase. Big thanks to Henson for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
Yay!
Right? Now, let's get back to the video. Throughout history, there have been countless stories centered around a very specific dynamic: the adult protector and a child. You see it everywhere. In video games, they call it a dad simulator. The Walking Dead, The Last of Us, God of War, Detroit Become Human, Bioshock, Life is Strange. Also movies like Logan, True Grit, in a way, Monsters Inc. Shows like The Mandalorian. Literature has done it forever with The Road, Les Miserables, and many, many others. It shows up time and time again because it taps into something deeply human. The instinct to protect, to guide.
I never read it.
To nurture something more vulnerable than yourself. It is a beautiful and powerful story that has been told for centuries.
Yeah.
And you're like really weird and an incel for enjoying it, actually.
Oh, damn. Haven't seen the movie either.
If you buy this game, I'm gonna assume you are a pedophile. I feel like it's a breach of ethics at this point.
What the? Why is that what? Why is she thinking that? Why is anybody thinking that Enemy Mine was interesting? Ooh.
Point to design child characters for an audience of majority male gamers. Like, let's stop with the defenseless girl the big strong man has to protect. This reeks of sexism and control.
What?
I hate these father simulator games. They always give me the creeps. This is
Bro, just because you don't have a dad, it doesn't mean that everybody, you know. Wait, let me word that. Just because you hate your dad doesn't mean everybody else does. Down. Sorry, let me make that fit better. Oh my god.
low genuinely fascist propaganda and gives me pedo vibes. Wouldn't it be cool if I
How is it? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Gods, give me the patience, because if you don't give me the if you give me the strength, eesh.
Eased right now. Fascist propaganda. If this is fascist propaganda, slap me and call me Adolf. Zoomer would really look at a wholesome game involving a child and wait, what the f is low-genuinely? After hearing about
That's not even a word. These freaking quangos are making up their own shit. God damn.
toxic masculinity for the past like 15 years now, finally a topic comes up where it's overwhelmingly positive masculinity, and what is the response? I think the funniest thing about the pragmatic controversy is that those incels genuinely think they could ever get near enough to a woman to impregnate one. It's not—
What the hell? My god. Damn.
nuanced. Pragmata is blatant pedophilia catered to male gooner gamers.
Why do they assume that all gamers that are male are creeps like that? Like, why is that their first thought? What does that say about them?
Why are people thinking this is sexual or makes you a pedophile? Because men are notorious for being peds and disgusting humans. They sexualize everything. You are not very smart. A lot of—
What the fuck? Yeah. What is up with this, like, attack against freaking men? I mean, I've been seeing it since, I don't know, I guess Gamergate or whatever the fuck. It's fucking weird, man.
loser males who often turn to gaming are pedos. It is an unconscious—
Because when they think of children, the first... Right, like, that is fucked up. Why would you even think, like, they're fucked up. They're fucked in the head if that's already what they're thinking about, what that subject is bringing up. Right? It's true. And I married having another big loser. Right? But then again, I know that one Quango called you an incel on X-Bones, and they apparently don't know what that word means.
just strategy to avoid competing with chat, as well as complementing their own pure attorneyness.
They're pure eternal. I don't know why Kai got mentioned. Well, it's true. I don't think about... I mean, I'm mentally stable for the most part. Why? Yeah, like, why would you even... It's fucked up. It is unconscious strategy to avoid competing with Chad. Okay. I don't speak Quanganese, man. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to say with this. Pure Eternus is his sister, the one that's on that stuff. Oh.
All development. What?
Oh. Does she know Tay-Tay? Do her and Tay-Tay go off and binges when they're on that stuff?
Y'all are full of shit talking about dad instincts and whatever. We know why the f you want to play the game. You want to crack the little blonde bimbo slut.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that is fucked up. And why are they calling her a little blonde bimbo slut? That is fucked up. Yeah, they were. Pure Eternus is apparently your sister that's on that stuff. Of course, there with somebody with that flag would say some fucked up shit like this.
What? This character design creeps me out. Why does she look like a doll? Why is this blonde child with a blowout running around barefoot? I've not yet played the game. Is this expanded on in the plot? Or is this just eye candy for creeps?
Okay. You could argue, because she looks like a doll, that maybe it's a little bit creepy, you know, because androids or whatever. Right? Wholesome is banned. But not for whatever stupid ass reason they're coming up with here.
I feel like I'm going insane. She just looks like a cute kid to me. Like, that is just literally a cute little kid. I do not see these sexual
It's just a kid.
And I am a huge pervert, mind you. I do not see...
What the hell show I had? It's true, I just see a little kid. What the fuck's wrong with people, man? What the hell? Women are too sexy. I is back. Oh man, I could go on a whole rant about that.
What the f these people are talking about? Are there creepy people on the internet who are sexualizing Diana? Yes, absolutely yes. It is a small minority, but it is still—
Throw them in the trash.
In fact, a subreddit had to be shut down because people were making not safe for work art of this child, which honestly is not shocking. It's Reddit. But that's not the game's fault.
Wow, damn, shoot. But yeah, throw them people who are being creeps like that in the trash. What the hell?
The game has nothing creepy in it. These creepy people will always exist, unfortunately. I have made several videos about these people existing. People getting mad here are not getting mad at the people sexualizing
Right.
Diana. That would be completely understandable. It would make sense if they were going to the accounts that were doing that and calling them creeps, but no. They're for some reason just getting mad at people liking and enjoying the game. They're just spurging out and randomly calling everyone and anyone incels. Why did they make her look—
Right? It's fucked up. Why did they make her look like a porn? No, she doesn't. Why are they thinking that in the first place? Holy motherfucking shit.
like a porn star, though? Why is the child sexy? Are you okay? These Twitter freaks—
No, they're not.
Immediately sexualize them and think everyone else is as creepy as they are. Like, no bitch.
That's exactly what's going on there, because there ain't nobody else that's normal and sane thinking that. It's just them. Like, they're the ones that are fucked in the head, and they're projecting that shit on other people. Yeah, self-report. No, yeah, what the hell?
That's you and Reddit. You and Reddit. There is nothing in this video game that caters to the freaks except for the fact
Yeah, it
that
did.
Diana is a child. Compare that to, like, Cuties, where there were up-closes of real children twerking.
Because of that movie, I refuse to buy a subscription to Netflix.
That is media. That is catering to those people. An
Yeah.
article recently came out from the
Yeah, she's just a little baby.
gamer that in the beginning talks about what happened on the Reddit and how disgusting some people are being towards the character Diana. Okay, fair.
But the thing that's fucked up, well, yeah, they are. The thing that's real, like, double standard insano thing is that if instead of like, instead of, like, this father-daughter dynamic they had, if they made that, android character an adult female with, like, you know, big mommy milkers or whatever, they would still get shit because, oh, it's sexualizing women or whatever the fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're the ones that are already thinking, like, fucking cochinos, and they're trying to throw that shit on everybody when it's like, dude, the only cochino here is you. It's driving me nuts. Oh my god. I can imagine.
Enough, I agree. But then towards the end, the author throws in something very telling. I have not yet played Pragmata, and that's because I'm a little tapped out on stories where men adopt daughter-like figures and prove their masculinity by—
Well then shut the fuck up if you haven't played the goddamn game. Oh my god.
protecting them. That is their real problem. Men protecting people. That's just them proving their masculinity. And as we all know, masculinity bad. Blatantly not fuel, whether you agree with it or not. The average attraction trope on a little girl, blonde, blue eyes. I mean,
right?
the game is
It's true.
Nazi propaganda, to be fair. I think the men—
How? Oh my god, yes. Oh my god. Yeah, they don't.
who play this are probably creepy, but how is it Nazi propaganda? Blonde, blue-eyed toddler and tiaras looking white girl you have to save is literally Nazi propaganda straight out of the 1930s, dude.
The hell?
Sorry, I don't see it. Ugh, I really don't have the energy to deal with this. Just use your brain. Sorry, I don't—
Why is that the first thing that person is thinking about too? God damn, man. Talk about, what's that? Fuck, what's that term? Hidden bias or whatever. Like, they're probably already thinking about that shit.
I have the energy to explain my schizophrenic paranoid delusion. Good.
Right?
I don't have the energy to listen to it.
It's
Listen,
true.
I'm used to seeing gay, black, Hispanic, disabled furries in media lately. But I promise you, white people still exist. It's not Nazi propaganda. I feel like this girl character—
No, but the thing that's fucked up too is that these people, if you were to put like a person of color or whatever in the thing, they would accuse the people of playing this game of fetishizing people of color. Like, there's no winning with these quangos. Only goddamn, Reddit is faking gay.
character is an objectification of the idealized child. She's pulled right from the patriarchal white supremacist imagination, the perfect pure white girl child that must be protected so she can produce the next white generation.
Who thinks like that besides deranged people? Unsolicited opinions from online prostitutes?
Anyway, funny how y'all have paternal instincts for a child with a model woman's face plastered on it. Make her look like an actual kid with missing teeth, short hair, bare face, snot, and see if those instincts kick in the same. This game is openly catering to pedos. The gaslighting is over. Wait, I'm trying to follow the logic here. Let me...
Yeah, she did it. She forgot because she didn't play the game. She just saying some shit, and then she gonna link to her fucking lonely fan so you can see her fucking nalgas and her fucking chichis.
Let me just give
for
you
$1.
brain damage. So we make her look more like a child in order to not cater to pedophiles? Am I following that correctly?
Oh my
the face on
fucking
the
god.
left is like a child 6 to 7 years old, and the one on the right is like a 3-year-old.
Oh,
Diana's
yeah.
a robot kid. She's not a robot
Lol.
toddler. Also, again, she looks like a kid. Am I going insane? Like, that looks just like a little kid. Do they just want her to look ugly? Is that what this is? They want her to be ugly? Like, I just...
Oh my god.
Damage. Hold on. Weeb incel gamers LARPing saying, ooh, I want to be a dad now, because they're manipulative, creepy freaks and like the ooh little girl with the...
It's true. And it won't and it won't tell you some stupid ass political agenda. We've been so gamers LARPing saying, "Oh, I want to be a dad now," cause oh fuck, let me let shit.
Especially the lolicons, obviously. The devs know the male gamers hate a realistic or ugly child because that's not what they're playing for.
What? Wow. If they made her look like a realistically ugly child, none of them would be saying that.
If they made her look like a realistic, ugly child, none of them would be saying this. First of all, why are they acting like it's realistic to portray children as ugly and disgusting? Children are not ugly and disgusting. Like, they're cute and adorable. That's what they're known for. Like, yes, she's made to look cute. Yes. That's how you know this game was not made by Western video game.
AI makes more real. Oh god damn. Facts.
Game developers. That's how you know there was no Liliths on the dev team here. You guys would lose your shit while playing BioShock. Actually, BioShock is a really good example of this design working right. The little sisters are all gross and have gray-green skin. No, you don't understand. Everything around me must be ugly as f***, or I will furiously start.
We own the
This
chuds.
all sounds like 2014 discourse, because it is 2014 discourse. Please don't let there be Gamergate 2.0. Who's going to be the shoe on head 2.0 to emerge from the Gamergate 2.0? If she's listening now, just, this might sound very vague, but don't. That thing? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Phew. Thanks for talking to me all the time. Ta-da!
Is this supposed to be when we first boarded the tram?
Uh-huh. I drew it. It's for you.
Look at that. You wrote your name, too. Not half bad, kiddo.
This robot girl makes me uncomfortable, and the fact that I haven't seen female gamers fawn over her is interesting.
Bullshit Tenma has.
I've seen more clips of her and that man, and that is not how kids behave. Something weird is going on here.
Look, I don't have kids, okay? But I used to be a kid. And we do totally act like that, although I was really weird because, you know, I had a different upbringing and I'm not an android robot in space. But yeah. Damn.
Something weird going on here is you, ma'am. You are the something weird. Men like the Father Simulator game where you have to protect a small child and shoot up a bunch of robots in space? Suspicious! Also, I have seen plenty of female gamers fawn over this character.
Me. Yeah. Okay. Everything's all about you.
Who would win? Decades of anti-natalist propaganda? One little bean. There were even women
One little
celebrating
beans.
her. And when women even expressed how cute they thought Diana was, they're also met with this. Oh my god, Diana is so
Lol.
precious and adorable. I'm gonna love this game. Thanks for telling everyone.
I know. It is shocking.
The game before you make up some other excuse to hide.
Well, yeah, in the past. And then also in the present, you know. You like me weird. Haha.
Your pedophilia.
Oh my god.
Water guns are the best. I like it just as much as crayons. I like how the sand feels on my toes. I press down and sink in. Children don't act like this. This is how someone who fetishizes fatherhood wants children to behave. To normal people, it's actually deeply off-putting.
Look, even now, I will go on a 15-minute rant about how much I like Spider-Man and and how Spider-Man is badass and how I really like Spider-Man 2099. And pretty much the same way I say it now is very similar to how I said it as a kid. Like, because kids just be yapping, I think. I mean, I was a yappy kid. I was a yapper.
The best part was all the actual parents, like, replying to these people like, yeah, no, that is literally how my 5-year-old acts. It's like, yeah, no,
right.
No, that's pretty accurate. Fetishizing you mean the human desire to procreate and...
You just imagine a different guy. Yeah. Because now I'm a grown-up. I like grown-up things.
Start a family? Oh, you want to meet a woman and settle down and have a family? Maybe have a house, 2 dogs? You sick fuck. We've reached radioactive levels of incel propaganda. What the fuck is...
What the fuck? Like, why is it a crime to want normal things like a family? Like, normal families? Peter Parker is the only spider... What the hell no? Oh, hell no. No. There's a whole Spider-Verse, okay? First of all. He's just a Spider-Man from Earth 616. Which I guess Spider-Man 29... I don't know. Because, see, 2099 was supposed to be, like, the future world of Marvel. But then now they're kind of starting to make it, like, its own different world. So that's just your idea what incel means at this point. Ah, shit. Here we go. Here we go again. What got I don't know what got censored. So, yeah, that's the whole thing. I don't know why the 2099 universe is like weird like that. So yeah.
Does incel mean anymore? I feel like I ask this in every single video. This tweet got thousands of likes. I feel like I am going insane. Where does the incel part come from? Like, they want men to be open about...
I accept 2099 as future inherited, but all the current is oversaturation. Spider-Verse multiverse is different. Or okay, first, okay. No. No. Okay. The thing is like they did have some stuff like in the web of Spider-Verse and all that stuff, but I will agree they like way overdid it a lot, like in the movie. And yeah, I agree there's too much of that stuff. I don't know why they started to try to turn the 2099 universe or future into its own universe instead of just leaving it as a future. I guess because it was creating like, I don't know why the fuck they did that, man. I don't know, shenanigans. Damn. Oh shit, what the fuck? Yeah, Spider-Ham, sorry, is fun. Actually, I have a Spider-Ham comic of Peter Porker. I also have a Spider-Man India comic and some Ghost Spider stuff, although I need to like collect that shit. But yeah. Oh shit, what the fuck?
And then men are open about their emotions, and then they're just called Nazis or incels or both. Usually both. It's usually a package deal. And this tweet came from a man.
Damn.
to make things worse, a grown-ass man saw another grown-ass man speaking about the normal human desire to want a family and want children one day, and called him an incel. Cockroach behavior.
In any case, what is this? Capcom's pragmatic.
It is are we really taking the word of a freaking fascist animal abuser to heart, man? Who cares what the fuck this fucking goober has to say? Yeah. God, he's so fucking privileged and uneducated. Right? Free Kaya.
Wait, did it come out already? Pragmata, it's making thousands of people suddenly want to start a family. You place Hugh, a soldier, stranded on a ruined lunar research station. Whose job is protecting the childlike android Diana while fighting rogue AI. In one emotional moment, she gives him a crayon drawing of the two of them together as a little family. Even streamers who say at the start they didn't want kids end up breaking down happy in tears. So what's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like
Bro, are you talking about yourself? Because I know plenty of dudes who are like maybe not super fit. I'm not judging. Or they're not super rich. I'm not judging. And it's whatever. And they have wives and kids and a lot of putang. What do you have? Nothing.
starting families and stuff. And I don't understand like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like, if you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about things
like anime titties. See, I like titties and I like dick. So, yeah.
that you actually enjoy, right? If you're a f***ing lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Like, why do you care about having children or like riding for having children? Like, it's just not something that you're gonna experience ever for.
Bitch, you ain't gonna experience that neither. No.
Your life, for the rest of your life, right? This is something that I never understand.
Wow, maybe there's a reason people are yearning to start a family and can't afford to have one and can't seem to find a partner. They feel alienated from their work and atomized from their community. If only there was a political commentator around to speak about all this. Oh well, guess not. First of all, the only care about something if it affects you is extremely libertarian coded and also very weird coming from a guy who understandably wants everybody to care about a genocide that is happening across the ocean. Second of all, what is this nihilistic horseshit? You never aspire for anything, never aim for greatness and meaning. This is the dude the media wants us to believe is going to save young men from the alt-right pipeline. Yeah.
I don't know who said that, but damn.
Okay. And I love how he's like, unfuckable losers. Like, okay, congrats on the sex, bro. Check out this sex haver over here. I'm sure all those.
I don't even think he does have sex on the reg. Like, he looks like he goons hardcore. I'm being 100%.
Unfuckable losers could easily go to foreign brothels and pay for sex like you.
Right? Oh yeah, I forgot. He's been to brothels. He had to pay for that shit because women just don't want to touch him because his attitude's all ass. Told you, he got that gooner freaking vibes, man. I can tell. I mean, there's nothing wrong with gooning sometimes, you know, it's whatever. He gets peg on the rig. He gets peg. Oh, wow. I'll be watching from my phone then. Oh, that's fucked up. Wow. He got pegged. Oh my god, yeah, I heard that shit about Mizkif. And he, like, volunteered that info. And I was like, bro, you couldn't waterboard that information out of me, man. Like, bro. Well, that's why he had to go to other frickin', like, countries and shit. Sorry, in regards to Hassan. Or whatever the fuck. Dude, he probably has fucking diseases, like genital diseases.
Twist on. Something weird about a man who could easily consensually get.
Like, okay, I got some dudes in the chat, right? Oh, obviously, because I got Bones and Ty and Mags here. I don't want to assume. Okay, I have a legit question. So, as a dude, Wait, how do I word this? Let's see. Is it weird as a dude for a dude to want to get pegged or accept getting pegged? Because I think that might, unless they're, you know, leading that way, you know, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being gay or whatever. But if you're supposed, like, if you claim to be straight, is that weird? Okay. Okay, gotcha. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being gay, of course. If you're gay, do it. With consent, of course. Oh my god, folks! Oh! I laughed, but actually hemorrhoids hurt really bad. It's no joke. Yeah. That I figured. I mean, if you're gay, you're gay. It's whatever. It is whatever. But if you're straight or whatever, I feel like you wouldn't want that. But I feel like he had to have been curious about it a little bit. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think he had to be a little bit curious about it. I feel like no. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not a straight male. I'm a female. And I'm a vampire, so I don't know. Dude, he was smiling throughout that, right? Like, he had to have wanted it. It'd be effed up if he wanted it. And if... Who was it that did... The person that who received it was like, I'm not... I guess, like, what if it wasn't their idea? I don't know, man.
Sex from a woman, but chooses to go to a brothel. I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah.
Also, 35? No kids? Like, I'm sorry, that just pisses me off. Like, sitting in his ugly ass $600 Gucci sweater. I swear I've never seen this guy in a fucking normal ass t-shirt. Sitting on his high horse, looking down at people for wanting something more out of life. I don't understand how someone could be so mentally mind raped that this is their reaction to such like a simple, wholesome concept. Like, literally no joke.
Yeah, he's like, don't do a normal thing like marry a woman and have kids and be a normal father with a normal family. Instead, go to brothels. He's like, even she attend, right? Piker only plays just a tip. It's true.
The entire meaning of life is somehow confusing to Hassan Piker, anti-natalist. If I saw a child that looked like that, I'd probably attack it. I felt like hitting her. The right-wing nutjobs seeing this and feeling paternal.
Why do they want to attack a defensive thing? What the fuck?
Maternal instincts are just predators. The only instinct I feel as a man right now is self-defense. I want to kill it. Yes,
What the fuck?
I want to protect a kid.
He probably a power bottom. He's gonna be like,
Are the predators, not the ones saying they want to kill it. The only thing I felt while watching this is pure bloodlust for that annoying creature. I hate children so much. Before you come at me, yes, I'm a 35-year-old crazy cat lady and proud of it. Stay mad. First of all,
what the fuck? Man. Self-report right there. I'm like, okay, I don't have kids. I'm generally indifferent to them. I don't care. I just mostly care if there's like loud noises that, you know, bother me because I have sensory issues. Generally, I don't care. If you have kids, go for it. I really don't care. If anything, actually, when kids and babies start screaming, I put it more on the parents, especially if it's like a little baby and it's like 10:30 p.m. I'm like, why do you decide that now is the time that you need to get fucking twisted cheese, girl? Jesus. Your baby's upset, man. Take care of your baby.
every time you see a little smiley face like that, that's how you know that person is madder than they've ever been in their entire life.
Yep.
Listen, obviously if you simply don't want kids, that's fine. Like, whatever. Not everyone wants kids. Not everyone wants to be a parent. But the societal attitude, the difference between men and women here, how they handle this situation is so like fascinating to me.
I'm probably never having kids. I'm probably gonna play video games for the rest of my life. I'm probably gonna be as hot for as long as I can. And I'm probably gonna keep making money. That's probably what's gonna happen for the next 40 years until I people are just gonna keep being mad at me about it. Menopause is gonna hit me like a brick wall, but at least I will be getting the bag until then. You don't want kids? I'll do it whenever I want. I don't think I'm running out of time.
Absolute delusion. I feel like a lot of men in this situation are like, damn, I wish I had a family. That sucks. Women overcompensate and they pretend to be proud of it, and it just comes off as really kind of sad. And I guess it's like,
She says that now, but she won't be saying that when her freaking womb is a fucking prune raisin. And everybody's like, and the only people who are gonna be wanting to freaking, well, nobody's gonna be wanting to touch her. She's cooked by 30, right?
as a woman for a long time, it's like, oh, you're too young to have kids. Don't have kids. It will ruin your life and your body and your career. Don't have children. And then all of a sudden you hit a certain age and it's
that
like,
womb haunted, lol.
Ma'am. I get it. It's frustrating. I get it. I hid my pregnancy from the internet. Nobody knew I was pregnant. Well, some of you guessed, because I was fat as f. But anyway, I hid it from the internet, and while I was like 5 months pregnant, I was getting tweets from like groypers and shit like, TikTok, your eggs are drying up. But this like, f you haters, I got my cats. Enough. Stop spreading that attitude. Stop being a crab in a bucket. Like, even if you don't have children, that's fine. You could find other meaning in your life, obviously. But don't encourage that type of mindset. The amount of anti-natalist propaganda young men and young women see nowadays is like insane. But the biggest anti-natalist propaganda—
that crazy cat lady clearly does not have a cream pie fetish. Because if she did, she would be saying that shit.
It has to be like $3,000 rent, $2,000 daycare, and student debt, honestly. Like, if we're being honest.
I got bonked.
It's just sad because, like, through all of history, like, imagine your ancestors. They've been through, like, war and famine, and you're just gonna end your bloodline because the rent is too high. But it's understandable. They don't feel like they can support a child. They can barely support themselves. Especially on one income, like how it used to be. Those days are gone. You know, if I was president and I wanted to make America great again, that would be the thing I focus on the most. But no, we have to do another bullshit war in the Middle East. Okay, whatever, we're not going into that, not in this video. Lots of strange reactions to this game. Let's clear some things up. Childless men do not have paternal instincts the way childless women have maternal instincts. Men first experience paternal instincts once they have their own children, and typically, those paternal instincts are only ever felt for their own children and no one else's. Men are not nurturers. Men don't gush over cute kids in public. Men don't have baby fever. If a man wants to possess a—
I would say see, it's like, it's not that men are not nurturers, it's just their way of nurturing, quote unquote, is different than how a woman does it, you know? I would say primarily they are protectors and stuff, but I would say that doesn't mean that they're not nurturers. Like, it's not in the same way that a woman has it, you know? So yeah.
Child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he's likely a predator. What? Okay, first of all,
what the hell? What is this this bitch thinks we live in Game of Thrones for real, for real?
Even from like anecdotal common sense, this is just not true. This is obviously bullshit. Research literally shows that childless men experience like the desire for fatherhood almost just as much as childless women experience the desire for motherhood. Apparently, young men want children more than young women do nowadays. Many men, including childless men, exhibit caregiving, protective responses to infants, even if they're not their own. All through history, men have protected, mentored, even died for kids that weren't their own. Also, with this logic, uncles, stepdads, adoptive fathers, like anyone like that is a predator. Like, men just have the protector gene, and this game just activates it. It's really not deeper than that. Yes, it's true, men don't have maternal instincts, but men do have paternal instincts. There's a reason this game is about protecting her from evil robots in space, and not like, I don't know, breastfeeding her. Yes, women and men are different. And I like a huge factor in this very popular trope is that the man gradually develops paternal instincts over the child despite his stoic, emotionally distant, masculine nature. These
Yeah.
gamers are experiencing that through the main character. If Capcom's goal with Pragmata was to make everyone who plays this game want to be a parent, then they've done an amazing job. I always sit back when Diana starts playing and think to myself, so this is what it's like to have a daughter? She's so cute. And for the record, yes, that is what having kids is like. It's also not so fun
Oh,
stuff
that's
and
cool.
lots of responsibility, but the good parts completely outweigh the bad and
She didn't start crying or anything like that.
make it all worth it. There were hundreds of tweets from people, mostly childless people, mind you, being like, that's not what having a child is like, actually, you stupid gamer. It's actually terrible and awful. Men like this view having a daughter like having a pet dog. Once she grows up and isn't a cute little girl anymore, they'll begin to resent her.
What the
Men
fuck?
really do want kids the way kids want a puppy.
Oh, damn.
All the fun, but none of the responsibilities. I don't like the way you guys talk about children. Like, they aren't toys. People will lose their minds when they realize that kids aren't like a dog or cat. They're a goddamn nightmare. Watching a child play with a toy and actually raising a child are two completely separate things. Kids are adorable when they're calm and playful, but little demons when they're screaming, snotting, and destroying your shit and keeping you up at night. Men really think having children
Okay.
is easy and fun. It's not so fun when they're pissing and shit and crying nonstop. Do you have kids? No, and I got my tube side 3 years ago, but thanks for asking. Wow, Diana's so cute. Maybe I want kids one day. Did you know they poop and pee and cry? Why this compulsive need to counter signal this? Watching a fictional
Right.
kid play with toys for a few seconds and thinking that's what it's like raising an actual human being is probably a sign you have zero idea what it really looks like being a parent, and you should not base your decision off a video game character. Wait, wait, this community note. OP is an e-girl with an OnlyFans account. You
Whoa, guys don't listen to e-thoughts like that, man. They don't know nothing. Right? Daddy issues. Putting their daddy issues on display, man.
stupid gamers don't get it. Doom scrolling TikTok and having multiple failed situationships is true happiness. Children are a burden. Nobody is saying parenting is easy. Nobody said that. All the parts parents say are the best parts. All the parts parents say are worth it. That is what people are seeing and yearning for. They have this like insane compulsion to attack anything that's like remotely pro-family, I guess because it culturally clocks as conservative. So you have to just shun it and mock it.
I tell you why, it's because they have fucking daddy issues. They don't know their dad. Freaking fatherless behavior.
Or else you're doing a fascist propaganda or something. This whole thing has just been a litmus test for humanity. On one side, people who long for love and meaning and human connection desire deeper things and they're in touch with their humanity. And on the other side, miserable, insane freaks who want to destroy everything pure and wholesome. And then on the sidelines, normal people who just think this is a fun game.
Right?
Yeah, that's probably most people. I think we're a little too online sometimes. So we have established that the broveries have been activated.
The broveries?
Game, but is the male biological clock real? Unlike women who are born with a specific number of eggs, men create sperm all their life. Right now as we speak, your
I told you, fresh milk.
balls are creating sperm. Men can technically get someone pregnant
Delicious.
all their life. And by someone, I mean a woman, not a femboy. You can't get a femboy pregnant. Stop trying. Sperm quality tends to decline over time. Lower sperm count and more DNA damage to the sperm occurs. These changes usually start after 35 to 40 years old. So as men age, the risk of passing
Oh, it was your idea?
on genetic mutations increases. Similar to maternal age, higher paternal age has been associated with autism, schizophrenia, so basically being a shoe-on-head fan, and other rare genetic disorders, as well as the chance of miscarriage rates being higher. So when red pill manosphere people tell you like, oh, you have all the time in the world to have children, bro, focus on yourself, queen.
Got it!
Like, technically, they're correct. Physically, you do have all the time in the world, but that doesn't mean you should wait. Having kids is more than the ability to reproduce. You want energy to chase a toddler around. You want your kids to have their father in their life for a long time. You want to see your kid graduate and maybe have children of their own. You want to give your parents grandchildren. You don't want to be a super old dad or mom. But if that's how it happens, and that's great. Life is not a Hallmark movie, but it should not be the ideal for men and women. Like, if you are in a stable relationship, get married and have kids as soon as possible. Honestly, it's the stable relationship part I think people are having the most trouble with. It's easy to be like, find a wife and get married and have kids, bro. And it's like, find a wife? From where? The wife store? Listen, I believe you will have that one day, Anon. I believe you will have that wife and daughter or son. You will have a little Diana of your own one day. You will hang those drawings on your fridge. Don't blackpill, don't doom. We're all gonna make it. Same to you ladies watching. If I can make it, you can make it. So what did you guys think of this? Have you played Pragmata? Did you like it? Did it make you feel those fatherly or motherly instincts?
Right.
Your biological clock ticking? Do you have baby fever? If you like this video, please subscribe, and if you can, donate to my Patreon, link down below. All patrons get the raw, uncensored version of the video a day before it comes out, and I'm going to start doing live streams for Patreon members only, so and I will see you guys soon with a new video, a slot video, hopefully.
Woo! Okay. What time is it? Ooh, kind of late. Okay. Well, that was fun. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here because my butt hurts. It's been a while. But thank you guys for coming to the stream and hanging out with me and listening to me yap. So yeah, bye guys. Thank you for coming to my stream. Bye.